Hello everybody and welcome. My name is Ketchup.
And my name is Mustard.
And you are watching VSFighting 2018 live for the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour.
Indeed, this is VSFighting 2018, which is the second Saga event along the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, where all of our players across the weekend are going to be playing for the 2-star Dragon Ball. Of course, the 1-star Dragon Ball being taken by Kazunoko at CEO earlier in this year. And it really is about Europe this weekend, right? Can Europe defend against the internationals that have come to take this along, as well as proving that, of course, we do have some top-level European talent?
I think there's no doubt about it that Europe is a dangerous region for Dragon Ball, but I really feel like when it comes to the Saga events, the Europe dedicated ones it's in full force for the European players. You know, they are the majority, which if you're a European fighting game player, that's actually going to be out of the ordinary. So consistently when we see our European players travel to, you know, events in Asia or events in North America, they're definitely, you know, the minority, but that changes at VSFighting. We have the likes of Sonic Fox in attendance, who you guys will be seeing very, very soon. We have the Kill Sage, you know, Goichi as well. This is going to be an insane event, but the question is, can Europe defend its turf against the best Dragon Ball players in the world?
I think we definitely have scope for there to be some really impressive showing from Europe, considering some of the players we have here, right? You know, for example, players like Zaroch that we had just, you know, win. We've already won, you know, multiple Dragon Ball FighterZ tournaments around Europe. We've got a lot of prominent online players that, you know, this is really their first opportunity to show that they can really bring it at the highest level, as well as obviously the UK boys. We've got RMZ taken to the stage right now, who is going to be our first game of the day, who he in himself is already a really strong player in the UK region specifically, as well as, of course, Ikesy. You know, lest we forget Ikesy, this player that's been running a tear on the UK right now. This is the biggest UK tournament of the year for Dragon Ball FighterZ. This is his best chance to really show that he is of that top level.
And I think it's just going to come down to a matter of experience as well. So our first game is going to be RMZ versus Gasman. Two actually sort of really old school, going back in the UK scene across multiple titles, obviously. But when it comes to Dragon Ball, RMZ really has been consistently showing that he is one of the stronger players in the UK. Definitely in the London area, you know, we would see him consistently around, you know, Winner Stays On and the like, where he's able to consistently go and really prove that at a top level he can compete with the guys in the UK. But it's kind of, as we said, and it's going to be a constant talking point throughout the entire weekend, is the best in UK enough? You know, is the top of the food chain in this part of the world enough to take the second Dragon Ball in the tour?
But I think every player that's really entering from the UK specifically is going to be eager to prove that, yes, absolutely, 100%. You know, there is a lot of regional pride across all kind of parts of Europe, right? Which is what this tournament really is about. You know, we have Germany, France, UK, Spain, and the list really does go on, as well as obviously international, right? We've got North America, we have Japan. This is truly an international display of Dragon Ball FighterZ with a lot of regions that really haven't been seen too much at this level of play. And I think that really is where the beauty of the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour comes from, is the fact that it is an opportunity, you know, you saw in the trailer, right? So many different countries around the world have a Saga event where, you know, you win that tournament, bam, that's it. You now own a Dragon Ball, you're going to be at the finals.
I think it's a historical moment for the UK as well. You know, the UK hasn't had a huge amount of tournaments in terms of, like, you know, on this caliber, with just how much is on the line for a lot of these games. And we're going to be going in straight immediately, and RMZ going in with that 16. And, you know, we actually used to see RMZ rock the Cell, but it's kind of interesting seeing him not go with this character for the first match in the tournament.
Yeah, indeed. Cell definitely being one of the stronger characters on RMZ's team. You know, he really had the knowledge. He had, you know, if you've just watched his Twitter, right, he's got the TODs. He knows what he's doing. But it's going to be a 16 mirror. This is our first game of VSFighting 2018. A Saga stop in the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour. And it's going to be RMZ that draws first blood.
Now we should see a conversion, catches him in the air, so even though we didn't really see a full combo there, it's not really going to be the end of the world, because RMZ is going to pick that one up anyway. And just here comes the 16, dropping quite a few combos almost immediately. Now, let's not forget, this is their first games of the day, so rust is definitely something that exists.
Hey man, it's fresh, you know, this is first thing in the morning for all of these guys, but you have to brush them off as soon as you can. We have some heavy hitters in our early pools today. RMZ definitely one of them. He's going to take out Gasman's Android 16 relatively easily, dare I say.
Yeah, I think having point 16 is always going to be such an amazing tool because he kind of has the crazy rush down, he's got the good buttons, and then obviously when you back it with 2 interesting assists, to be honest, having Hit and Gohan together, very similar sort of hitboxes on those, but not a problem right now. We're going to see a pickup.
Well, it's the kind of team that they really miss that full screen presence that most assists can bring, but when you're point blank, you get a lot of options in terms of pressure, combo extensions, RMZ getting a level 3, and that's going to be an easy hit. Gasman probably going to lose Vegeta here. Now, he only has hit assist, but he's going to go to second bar, most likely. So question is, can, yeah, 2 level 1s will be enough if he spends it.
That's a dead boy. That is a dead Vegeta right there. Gasman, currently this is one-player games, hasn't had a chance to get anything going right now, but that really can be the story of Dragon Ball's life in some cases. You land that first hit and you've got some assists, you've got a bar. It's very difficult, and what an amazing read on the tick grab. The first time Gasman tried to go for something to get back in, and RMZ with the read.
But straight in as well, right? This is game 1. Immediately, the first time Gasman got RMZ blocking anything, he went for tick grab, and RMZ was already ready for it. And here comes that pressure. Gets the assist to build some screen space, but right now, this is a bit of a mountain to come back from this one. Oh, high up. Oh, wow, and RMZ, I love it. He knew he wasn't plus off the vanish and went for the reversal anyway.
That was such a good decision. So that's a super comfortable game number 1. This is going to be 2 out of 3, remember. This is pool play, so this is not a great time to lose your first match. But against someone like RMZ, you know, he's going to be quite a decent seed in this pool because of UK results. But things at the end right there, I think it was a great decision.
I mean, it's just him really playing at that higher level, right? That's what happens. You know, vanishes most of the time. If they're on the ground, they're plus. If you kind of land above the ground, probably not. But if you've got invincibility, you think your opponent's going to press a button late, then you are going to chew that up for free. And if you're already riding that much momentum, you know your opponent's going to be like, oh, fine, they've got an opportunity to press something, and you get hit anyway. That is going to be an absolute crush to the soul. But a complete change in team now from Gasman. Now, that's actually something that I wonder how much we're going to see that today is not only just character changes, but complete team changes. We don't tend to see players swap out, you know, full teams too often because the game is 2 out of 3. That's not a huge amount of time to realize, is this the right time to change? And if you do see a change, I mean, is it ever really an entire team like this?
I think sometimes it can be a sign of, I don't really think things are going very well. Let's go for that other option. But in a 2 out of 3, it can be kind of hard to gauge that as well. You know, this is Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's a fast game. You know, games can go down quite quickly, especially if they're pretty much stomps like we saw in the first one. So maybe we just thought, if it doesn't work out, let's try and change up the neutral, let's try and change up some of our tools, and you know, who knows, maybe Zamasu's going to be the key to it. But against 16, you got to watch out. RMZ got that first hit super comfortably. Doesn't get confirmed there because it is just a light.
Okay, RMZ with a max range overhead.
RMZ somewhat dropped his internet forward dash, so again, they're sort of like first game day, not necessarily nerves, but
they're definitely not nervous.
Rust.
Like RMZ is not the kind of player to get nervous at all. There's the pressure coming through. Good box from Gasman. Oh, but as I can say, that gets opened up by just a raw low, and he's got the Gohan assist, almost certainly without damage. Does he even need the bar? No, nope. He does not. And this is perfect situation for RMZ, because he's yet to take a single, just a speck of damage, and still has the same amount of bar like Gasman does.
Oh, interesting as well that Gasman actually opted to go for Bardock, not on point. Decided to go for Zamasu first. Theoretically, probably trying to combine it with the assists, I guess, but unfortunately, not really getting a chance to again play the game, and here comes that hard knockdown that everyone loves.
I feel like this is almost like an exact repeat of the first game. Gasman, the second character, eating a level 3 combo, but didn't open up immediately this time. I actually like that from RMZ. He was just sitting there. I wonder if he was expecting Gasman to wake up with a level 3 or something for the invincibility.
Yeah, wake up
that was a counter hit too.
Either wake up level 3 or wake up vanish. Nothing's going to come, but Gasman didn't actually take that real estate to do anything. Gets the knockdown.
Okay, there's a wake up reflect
into
the Sparky, but RMZ says no, the flying shoulder from full screen, near enough. And there's 2 assists gone, but the sparking regeneration coming through. But Gasman, he's using the entirety of the sparking and is yet to do a single point of damage with it.
The thing is, if you pop sparking and then get tagged, I think 16 is one of the last characters you'll get hit by because his combos take a million years. Oh my god, the reversal level 3, but it's going to be scoured out. RMZ says no to that. See you later. No more bar and you're dead.
You just have to look at the way that RMZ is playing this though. Even though he's in complete control, he's not going completely ham. He's leaving those gaps, he's leaving those spaces, giving Gasman an opportunity to press something because he wants him to press it. Unfortunately, Gasman is falling for it over and over again.
It's a horrible situation because when you feel like you're given an opening on purpose and you take the bait, it's like, what can I do? What is left for me to do against this guy? We're going to get another hard knockdown, and this mix-up now could absolutely just be desperate.
Well, the thing is, RMZ doesn't have any resources in terms of bar, but he's got sparking. He gets anything here, he just has to confirm into sparking, and that's probably going to be it, even if he needs it. He only has the Gohan assist. He has got 2 bars. I think that's probably enough damage. That's probably enough.
He's going to go into the highest damage possible. Super, super comfortable win for RMZ. And just like that, with almost a couple of double perfects right there, RMZ is going to be moving on in the bracket in good fashion.
Not a huge surprise. Of course, shout-outs to Gasman. I'm sure he's going down to losers now. Double elimination, good stuff as always. But RMZ really is one of those favorites to do well. If you're looking at UK players looking to do well in the UK tournament of this caliber, RMZ's got to be one of them, right? It's going to be the RMZ, the Ikesy, the Foxy Grandpa when he comes playing later on. Like, we know that the UK does have a good number of strong players, and VSFighting is that comfort zone for the UK. I know a lot could be said about players from other regions traveling around. You always have the kind of excuses, definitely isn't the word, but kind of the factors of things like, is there jet lag? Is there unfamiliarity with where you are? Because, it's not a Europe to other place thing. It's like, other regions coming to Europe also experience it. We've seen that a few times this year alone.
A lot of major tournaments exist in places that aren't, the UK, right? So when you have players that travel from like North America, in some of these tournaments in the UK, some of our North American competition, it's some of the first time they've actually been in this country, period. So things like, time zone differences and stuff, they can actually make a big difference.
But they can, in theory, and obviously it affects everyone
That's coming from
differently.
experience, how regular we travel to the States as well.
But
it's no joke.
I guess the point I'm trying to make is, if a UK player is going to play the best anywhere in the world, it's probably going to be in the UK. So I hope we can see more of that kind of RMZ later in the day. But I do believe we have our second players sitting down. I believe I see Ginty on stage.
Yeah, so our next match is going to be VSF Ginty versus Chrislin. Ginty is one of those players that he can pick up loads of games when they're brand new and do pretty well, using, not necessarily fluctuating towards a tier list, or sort of focusing on a tier list, I guess is a better word, because he likes characters that he enjoys the most. I don't know if he's still playing Krillin, but I know he had a really, really tiny Krillin early on.
We actually saw Krillin at Pistol Not Star in the UK a few months ago, and I believe he was playing the Bardock team. But I actually remember asking about that, because I remember, of course, when we first saw Ginty early in this game's life, it was a Krillin team. It was a deficient Krillin team, but it was at a time that no one was really playing Krillin, right, because the game had just come out. But then we saw him at Fistula Not Star, and it was a traditional Bardock team. And I remember saying, why have you made this change? And he goes, well, Bardock was my favorite character. I was waiting for him to come out, and now he's out, so I'm not playing Krillin anymore.
That's always really good when you have a favorite character and they just so happen to be really, really strong. It's like, hey, if they're top tier, so be it. I'm not going to have a problem with that. But obviously, VSF Ginty representing Electronic Dojo and VSFighting as a tournament. Yeah, this is very much the hometown hero right now.
Okay, so it looked like we're going to have Ginty with that Gohan, Bardock, and Super Saiyan Goku, but an early guard cancel to get in Fat Boo.
Now we're going to see a full combo. The second you've got Adult Gohan out, it's actually, I feel like when you've got Adult Gohan and Bardock, you kind of get a little bit of an option of which one do you prefer out first. And you kind of get a lot of good pressure from both of them no matter what you go for. You're going to get a nice amount of assist pressure. Also combo extensions that you can see here from Ginty definitely has some of the loops, and that actually should very much be dead. Optimization is the key here from Ginty.
Well, the thing is, Bardock assist is actually deceivingly good for what it is. Normally you don't see it too much because Bardock is typically played on point, but anyway, it's fast, it covers a lot of ground. If you do it, something that's unsafe and you follow up with a Bardock assist, and there's the reactions. Ginty always ready, 100%.
That's one of the things in this high level of Dragon Ball, right? You got to be ready for those super dashes. They come up loads of different times. And if you got the 2-8s, then whatever.
I mean, there are certain points to Scream that are harder to react to than others, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. You do something that normally is like, well, this is a little bit minus, maybe they can press buttons here, and then Bardock just comes flying out, swinging a haymaker.
It's so fast as well. Like, it's so deceiving. You can give quite a large gap and then call Bardock, and in some cases actually still get the pickup. You gotta really keep your eye on that assist bar. But speaking of assists, unfortunately, Chris, without any assists left to go, just a solo Vegeta. Oh no. Ginty has so much time to realize that doesn't work. He's going to take the 2H. Let's stay a little bit safer.
But I do wonder if that's almost a sign of desperation. Vegeta, if you want an invincible reversal just to get someone off you, Vegeta has access to the DP, right? He's got the reversal, he's got the uppercut. So going straight for the level 3 for the same kind of invincibility is a sign of, I just need to get this guy off me, right?
He's dead. He's so dead.
I mean, he might be. I mean, is there a chance he survives this?
No,
right?
I think he'll survive with a pixel, mate. I think he's got... Oh, never mind. Yeah, forget it. So, basically, that's just what happens when Adult Gohan gets going, right?
It's a momentum... This can be a very momentum-heavy game. It's when you lose a character, you have 1 assist opposed to 2. Obviously, it's a bit harder to defend yourself. Universally, the other guy is going to be getting a lot of resources for it. But almost like there is a big kind of morale part of this kind of game, right? If you really just can't get anything going and it's looking like a one-player game, it can be hard to really get your survival out. And there it is, Bardock flying in to make the whiff DP.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because I think Ginty actually tried to go for a wake-up DP, then kind of like farmed the input a little bit, which is why he kind of just got hit on wake-up without anything. Unfortunately, Chris was unable to pick up and minimal damage. Ginty could have even had a dead character at this point, amount of time has been opened up. Oh, no reactions on the tag. That's unfortunate as well. Normally that's a guaranteed 2H and then some.
Yeah, there's that raw wake up again. Coming out from Chris, the reversal. Lots of pressure, but the buttons. Oh, and that raw super dash is going to connect.
We have the bar, we can convert on those. We have assists for pressure.
Is going to need him though. Wake up, vanish comes through. The problem is Chris is using a lot of his resources just to defend himself, but he still doesn't have the life lead. So I think he's using a lot of resources, but not really getting much for it. And that's going to be Vegeta probably come back in, get rid of that blue life. Good blocks.
I actually like the cross-up setup as well, kind of knowing he's going to get the pressure down there, guaranteed. Whiffs the DP, but no punish there from Ginty. A little bit too far away, but he gets the pick up. No convert again, because it's just a wayward hit. A little bit of a scramble situation, but I think Ginty, he's looking better in the scrambles as well.
Yeah, definitely. Chris got caught back dashing there, unfortunately. Just isn't able to scout out these times that Ginty's going for these super dashes.
Oh my god!
That was such a big call out, yeah, indeed. Again, this is the kind of character that if you have that invincible reversal, you have an assist to cover it, why not? But he's not going to have it anymore as Chris's Vegeta falls down. He's got 4 bars. Of course, he's got Majin Buu, 21.
The thing is, Ginty's getting clipped in a couple of situations where he's definitely just not ready for a button to be pressed when it does. It's like similar to right there. But unfortunately, Chris, he's been dropping a lot of combos consistently, so Ginty, he's not getting punished for getting caught by those like wayward hits connected.
That's the age-old point, right? If you drop, or don't even drop, but don't 100% optimize this point of play, a character's going to be alive when they shouldn't, which means that can really change the outcome of the whole game. And that's going to be a level 3, but a good block from Chris. He gets opened up by the low, but Ginty, you just must not have expected that. It looked like he was ready to almost go for that on block. Yeah,
I think he was ready to do it on block, and then we were probably going to see a Bardock assist, but thinking a little bit too far ahead right there. We see a connection again. Yeah. Chris in big trouble, but a drop from Ginty. A little bit of a scrambly game right here.
I mean, Ginty can afford to make those kind of mistakes when you are this far in the lead because, I mean, obviously it's room for punishment, right? Chris is showing continually that when Ginty makes mistakes and Chris gets damage, he's not doing a huge amount or he's dropping it. And wow. I mean, actually, like, legitimately, what side did that hit? Because Bardock came from the left. And then Goku just vanishes to the right.
My very technical answer is a hit in the middle.
Great.
And that's definitely what we saw Ginty try to do before, right? Those kicks into Bardock assists, but come out a little bit too early, but we're going to get knocked down. Definitely not going to be a dead character, but this is definitely next touch for the game. Goes for a wake-up. Not sure that was the right call to go for, but it does work.
I actually wonder if he did a wake-up level 3, but because obviously Ginty crossed him up at the last minute, maybe it reversed the input and gave him level 1.
Maybe.
Oh, Ginty, trying to disrespect, but again, Chris not really enforcing these pressure opportunities. Still has sparking. Oh, that's an opportunity. This could be a dead Goku. No, he dropped the combo.
The thing is, that actually wouldn't have worked if he actually did get the cross-up, but Ginty fumbled the input on the cross-up as well. Going in for the tag, expecting a button press, doesn't bite, but this should almost be the game. We're going to get a little bit of life regen because of that sparking, but a little bit of work left to go, I think.
He's going to get 3 bars, so if sparking runs out about now, maybe not. It is like 3 or 2 supers that hit instantly, so maybe not. Yeah, of course, that's the best way of bursting through sparking regeneration, right? If you've got a super that hits like immediately a big chunk of damage, obviously, sparking regeneration can't go through that as such. And obviously, the team having 2 of those, and then you have the Kamehameha from Goku, just that tick down that last little bit. So, well played from Ginty. Again, UK looking really good.
Yeah, for sure. And, just to remind anyone that might be sort of like new to tournaments or whatever, double elimination bracket means that whoever you see lose on stream doesn't mean they're out of the tournament just yet. These are the first games, and when you're in pools, everyone starts off in the winner's bracket. And obviously, as you lose, you go into the loser's bracket, and if you lose there, then that's where you get eliminated. On stream, you're pretty much going to be seeing almost entirely winner's bracket matches.
Especially this early in the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of players to get through, and there's a lot of games to play. So obviously, we'll be seeing the winners matches first, because they will almost by default be some of the more exciting matches. As you kind of almost go into losers final of a pool, then maybe things can get a bit juicy. But speaking of which, the man of the hour, the one everyone wants to be watching, Sonic Fox, stepping up to the plate. Now we get to see his new team in action in a official World Tour setting.
Yeah, I feel like we've spent a lot today talking about UK players, UK boys, UK representation, and now we are taking a trip across the pond. Sonic Fox, of course, being world famous at this point, and especially in Dragon Ball FighterZ. He really is one of the players that has experience in games of this style before, the kind of versus games.
Yeah, if it's a versus game, Sonic Fox really relishes that. He relishes high execution, extreme rushdown, lots of mix-ups. There is very little versus games in this day and age that he has not really been, within that top of the food chain area at, because it's his bread and butter.
And Dragon Ball FighterZ really is just the best example of that so far. He is phenomenally successful in North America, has really held his own, and in many cases, come off better against the best players from Japan. Of course, if you've been watching competitive Dragon Ball FighterZ from launch to now, you've probably seen this guy once or twice, and you've probably seen him get pretty far. The question is, can he do so this weekend? I know, of course, he hasn't traveled outside of America as much as I think you might have expected. a player like him. But of course, you know, he has had success outside of the US before, and this could be an opportunity to do the same thing again. Of course, this is a Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour event, so there's one event you want to make sure you do well at. And a game that, as the community itself is this stacked, he 100% is going to be looking for the Dragon Ball.
For sure, and I think it's also off the back of CEO, where there's really no tiptoeing around the fact that Fox is disappointed about how he placed at CEO. You know, this is a point where top 8 for Sonic Fox is never going to be enough. Top 8 is the expectation. It's how high you place in that top 8 that Fox really dictates his success by. And you know he was gunning for that first place. You know, he really wanted to get that grand final situation. Unfortunately, he couldn't pull it off. It was quite a rough tournament for North America at CEO, but I think it was, in some ways, almost like a wake-up call, you know, where it's almost like encouraged Fox to now go for a new team. And every time Fox loses in tournament, he comes back hungrier than ever. Combo Breaker was a perfect example of that.
But that's actually a point I was about to make. You know, I feel like Sonic Fox is one of the players in the FGC that the least of all you can say, okay, well, he lost at this event, that's it, right? You know, he's no longer on top. Because we have to remember, you know, it's these events, you know, they're called saga events in the World Tour, right? But the first community...
What happens in the sagas? What happens in the show?
The first community saga, you could say, was Sonic Fox versus Goichi. They had their exhibitions, they had their sets. Goichi won them. And the first one was not particularly close, but, you know, fast forward the clocks a couple of months, Sonic Fox is able to now beat Goichi in tournament. Yeah, we saw it at Combo Breaker. We saw that kind of adaptation adjustment made because Sonic Fox is the kind of player that if he loses an event, he's not going to take that loss and just be like, well, I guess that's it for me. He's 100% that's going to fuel him to do better in the future. And this could be the chance to do so as we waste no time going straight in. And Sonic Fox going with, ooh, a new team.
Yep, now this team was Bardock, Zamasu, and 16. He has been talking very heavily about his ability to kill every single character in any order with 2 touches. So if he touches you twice, you might die. Unfortunately, that's sort of not quite going to confirm there, but unfortunately, Coyote Stark coming from the UK, having a bit of a hard time recovering, and Fox untouched so far.
Well, we have to remember, right, Sonic Fox known at the moment, you know, he's played a lot of different teams from the game's launch to now, but the big one that he had the most of his success, obviously being that, you know, Cell, Gotenks, Kid Buu, and this is a complete change of pace from that, you know, 3 completely different characters. And Fuse Zamasu, we barely see this character competitively. You know, this character is tricky, this character is quite complicated. And Sonic Fox, you know, he's got the execution, he's got the, you know, the smarts in the game to make it work. And I hope we see a lot more of this team today, as it looks like he is just going to town.
This is a lot more reminiscent of what Sonic Fox was talking about. He's touched you and you've lost about 70% life guaranteed for like, what, 3 bars?
I didn't even need to use sparking. This character, this team does so much damage, and all they need is meter. And I can't imagine they struggle to build it. Okay, here's that flight coming through.
It's a really sort of like unique form of mobility. There are not really any characters in the game have access to that apart from Zamasu. It's high execution in some regard, and again, Fox really relishes that, and now he thinks he can start having a little bit of fun because, you know, he's got the characters to work with.
I don't think that's even it though. I feel like it really is. He has the real estate, but there we go, gets opened up by the raw super dash. Coyote gets an opportunity, but what can he do with it? Is he going to spend bar? Okay, that's one.
I definitely agree with just getting something spent. I mean, when you're in that last character situation, you kind of do need to quite often spend a lot of your resources just to get damage, because you can't get set up, you can't get damage with you know, without the assists. All right, another one spent. One more touch might take Fox out, but Fox has a plethora of defensive options. Wake up, super dash, and he should be able to get him out safely. Or does he try and go for a TOD situation?
I'm not sure. He's definitely not going to get a touch of death off of that. It looks like he's actually quite content keeping Zamasu in. Oh, but gets tagged. I think he disrespected the plus frames on that super dash and pays the price. Android 16 coming in. Coyote now. He did have to pop sparking. Now, the problem is when you're making a 1v3 comeback and you have to pop sparking to kill one of the 3, there's no way you're going to have enough sparking to finish all 3. And of course, Sonic Fox still has his own sparking, so even if Coyote can get character here, his sparking's going to run out. Sonic Fox can have the opportunity to use his, but even then, if Coyote can at least even the character count, his comeback is possible. But no! He dropped the combo!
But Fox not going for the whiff punish either. This is a bit of a ropey game number 1, but again, just remind everyone, it's one of those things where it's like, it's first game of the day. If these players are lined up, but they wouldn't have played yet.
I mean, it might be the first game of the day, but that doesn't mean the punishment or the consequences of losing are any less severe. You don't want to go into losers bracket round 1.
That's definitely dead.
I mean, he's got 5 bars. That's absolutely a dead.
Yep. See you later, mate. That's going to be game number 1 for Sonic Fox, who looked really amazing at the very beginning. And I think actually losing his Zamasu was quite a surprise, but I feel like almost when you look at Fox play, sometimes he just doesn't really worry. You know, he's so comfortable that he can just win the game anyway. If he loses Zamasu just trying to go for something cool, who cares? He's still got 16. And, you know, the beginning of his legacy was built off 16.
But I think this in itself is an example of why it's good to be a very versatile player, in the sense that you can play multiple teams, you can play multiple characters. It's not hard for you to pick up new ones if you need to. Because you have to remember, Zaroch Fox was one of the kind of the real premier Android 16 players early on. So being able to find, the character of course got nerfed, so he's not played as much nowadays, but you still is seen every now and then. But to be able to go, right, I know how to play this character, and he will fit on this team I'm making, and this is exactly why. However, it's actually Bardock doing the majority of the heavy lifting so far.
Yeah, we just saw that into their forward dash, chase down a back dash just in case he did it, but he just pressed a button instead and got clipped. Getting opened up a little bit. That's the first time we've really been able to see any of that Vegito get anything going, and we'll see what his combos are like. What kind of damage is he going to do to Fox right here.
Is he going to spend the second bar, or is he going to leave it as is? Let's pick it in. And again, the wake-up super dash. Zaroch Fox is showing no respect right now.
His wake-up super dash is yet to be challenged as well. That's really important data, and there's the pressure. Oh my word, the flow cancels are no joke. Much damage incoming. And he's going to get a pickup on that, no doubt.
Can 16 get it?
I have no doubt. Yeah.
Oh, he can!
Oh, God!
As soon as you see those supers comboed in that fashion, it's like, yeah, he could somehow follow up from this. And then Android 16 just leaping into the air.
You always
through
have
all
to
the
ask,
effects.
if it's Bardock and you do a super, you kind of tag them together really quickly. You kind of know there's going to be a follow-up. Goes for a...
No, quick confirm.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That was definitely like an execution error.
Now this is the Android 16 we all know. We've seen this before, and there's the level 3 from Bardock. Now Bardock when Bardock has you cornered off a level 3 knockdown, this is dangerous.
I mean,
he has so many layers to this mix-up, and there we go, the quick double overhead.
And again, he's got to be dead because he's going to build 2 bars, and the combo's not even nearly finished.
He might not even need 2. I think he'll get 1 at this rate. Is that enough? Yeah. Oh. Now Coyote, unfortunately, coming in, having to do a 1v3 comeback against Zaroch Fox right now. He does still have sparking, but wasn't quite able to make it right last time.
It's one of the things that makes Bardock such an amazing character, is that even his cash out damage, whether he's in the air or not, no matter where you are on the screen, you're going to get that massive cash out combined with everyone else. And going in for the sparking, tries to get a little bit of damage, unfortunately drops it. We did see him take out Zaroch Fox's Samasu before, so maybe he can do it again, but I mean, that's one of many little victories he's going to have to get here.
But the thing is, as soon as Coyote came in with this, this final character, Zaroch Fox, he immediately tagged into the Samasu. He clearly wants to play this scenario.
It's going to be contenting, they're blocking, taking plus frames. Oh, finds an opening.
No, he has 4 bars. Is that actually going to be dead? Because he has sparking, but he's going through the regeneration, so this probably won't kill with the sparking regeneration, but I wonder if it would have killed without.
It's going to take a long time.
He's going to get the extension again. He's gone for the same setup as Bardock, and then, of course, Bardock can come off from it too. Because absolutely, why not? This team makes complete sense in damage.
And that was a really early confirm into level 3, so we'll just pick up the pieces and have no problemo, mate. Zaroch Fox is going to move on 2-0. Not a surprising result. We are expecting Fox to be minimum top 3 in this tournament, and really sort of showing us why.
Well, I feel like it's kind of expected for him to do really well at this event, but at the same time, I feel like I really don't want to undervalue the kind of competition he's going to be coming up against that we haven't really seen him play before in this game. So I feel like that's going to be the biggest, kind of ongoing story for me personally, is how can the top European talent take it to 2 players like Zaroch Fox that we know are super versatile, are clearly bringing some, interesting teams with them. Because, I'm not going to lie, I know, Zaroch Fox has been talking for a little while about, how he's been messing around with Zamasu. He thinks Zamasu has some potential, and he's been, really experimenting with some cool stuff. And he's never really been the kind of player to be shy to bring that kind of stuff out in tournament. But I wonder how experienced that team might be. Because even though, in that match, you could have told me he's been playing that team since the day Zamasu came out, and I'd have believed you, because he looks like he's already quite comfortable
That's
with it.
the thing about that, right, where, I think people actually were asking similar questions where Fox was going with his Gotenks team a long time ago, when it sort of just debuted that new team, and everyone's saying, well, is it ready for tournaments? And then he goes and wins Combo Breaker. So it's definitely one of those things where tournament is the best experience. But it's funny you should mention top European talent, because we have Zaroch stepping up against Wipeout Effects up next. Now, Zaroch, really sort of well-known European Dragon Ball player at this stage. Really good at multiple games, but Dragon Ball really is one of his main focuses in this day and age. Fresh off his win at Viability, which had, some really strong competition there. We had Fox Grandpa, we had White Black, we had Frieza, and Zaroch had quite an impressive winning streak across many different games in that top 8, where he was undefeated by everyone. I think his final win streak across the top 8s was 18 games. He'd won about 18 games in a row in top 8s. That's absolutely insane. But it does go to show the talent that Zaroch does bring to the table.
And again, of course, Dragon Ball FighterZ is the game that I believe is like his main kind of focus right now. And that is interesting because, of course, I believe he comes from Germany, so obviously German scene represented well by a player of this caliber. And again, one of those players that we're looking at, we see him in the bracket, we expect him to get pretty far, at least make it out of pools. But anything can happen, right? 2 out of 3 format, a lot of unfamiliar names in this bracket, and that again is the beauty of the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour. There are these key stops. I believe there's 7 Saga events around the world being the key thing there.
And by no means is this the final event in Europe.
Oh, we've only just begun. We've only just started.
The UK now, but obviously we have UFA, we have Ultimate Fighting Arena in France too. So if some players don't necessarily do as well as they would like to here, they have actually kind of got that second shot. Because traveling across Europe, that's not very expensive. And if you're a player and you're self-sponsored and you're sending yourself to tournaments like many of these players do, especially in the UK.
It is easier for Europeans to get around Europe than it is to get to some of the more international Saga events, right? That just fundamentally is the point. But that's why it's so important that those many different regions are represented so widely around the globe. Because there are, I can assure you, there will be a large number of players that they can't really make it to a lot of events. So they'll enter like one Saga event because it's the closest one to them. And that's the last chance, or the only chance we'll get to see them play. And that's the kind of, there's so much room for upsets and unexpected results from players we just haven't seen yet.
But now here we go, going into our next match of pools. That's actually one of the things I really like about Zaroch as well. It's just his pure fundamentals. I think he's super, super strong. But I believe, isn't the Cell, Blue Vegeta and Gotenks, I believe that's Zaroch's team, right?
I believe the names are swapped. I do believe, and it's red too, right?
I'm pretty sure that's what he used at Vianelli. So I'm pretty sure it's the same team.
Unless he has decided to make quite a dramatic change.
I must admit, I haven't heard about a team change, and it would have been weird for him to change teams from there to now, surely.
Well, regardless, Ginty, we saw a lot of this at Vianality doing some crazy stuff, and that's actually one thing that I think Zaroch is really good at, those instant cross-ups and always cashing out a ton of damage from it, like always. And Vegeta Blue and Gotenks have some crazy synergy using that Gotenks assist, and we'll be seeing that a lot, and there is me. What side would that even hit on? He just did a super dash directly above him, and it just decided to connect.
It's really effective. I think it seems Blue Vegeta. It's one of his favorite characters too. Which I think works well. It's quite nice. You very rarely see this character get picked at all. When you kind of see this high level of competition and people make it work, it's great to see. All right, there's that knockdown situation. What's the mix? Oh, just a raw jump in heavy. Why not?
Just a safe jump. I think he was just watching, because of course it's against Bardock, right? Bardock has that level 1 super invincibility. So if you're going to safe jump anyone, do it against Bardock. He's going to wake up. You will be able to keep yourself safe.
Trying to maybe scout a jump out attempt, but it wasn't going to come.
Oh, that reaction to the super dash with that jumping light.
That was so disgustingly clean, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's just Zaroch though. He is a clean player. Those air-to-airs are insane.
All right, we're going to see a little bit of pressure here. Ooh, Vulnerable actually whiffing that, leaving himself a little bit open. There comes pressure with Gotenks. A block situation. You see the reflect a little bit.
I honestly do love the synergy between Vegeta Blue and Gotenks. I think it really is clean. And again, it complements this team so well. And then you throw Cell into the mix. This is a really complete team from Zaroch.
Lots of fundamentals on the board. They've got a lot of good buttons between them. A lot of conversion situations too. All right, we see an opening there. Is it going to be enough to kill? And this is solo. Oh, not if we drop it. That's the worst time to get caught.
Oh, Gotenks coming through with the Beyblade.
All right, we're going to see it confirm here because it was a brand new, fresh Gotenks. It's not going to hurt. And another combo drop. You've really got to cash out because you need the knockdown. You need the situation.
I love that as well, though. That block super dash into the rolling attack. Zaroch, he's just being so overwhelming right now. And still, as all 3 characters, this is a miserable situation for Wipeout to be in.
All right, we're going to block there a little bit. Gets caught by the low right as we see the assist as well.
I mean, he has Gotenks assist. Is enough to get the KO?
Oh, especially now with Pop Sparking.
Now, definitely, 100%. No reality he survives this.
Just to give him that little ounce of optimization, that little extra burst of damage you get from the damage of the sparking is going to be more than good. Looking good. Looking as we expected when it comes to Zaroch. This is his team. And I do believe the names are switched, guys, so sorry about that.
Yep, no, it has been since fixed, so thank you very much, production team.
Cheers, boys.
Getting a start. Now, I love the way that we're actually very rarely seeing players kind of commit to something really heavy early on. They're almost like, always jumping back and playing that patient game.
I'm actually surprised we didn't see an assist on blocks right there. You've got to be super aware. If you know there's one of those buttons that leaves you mega open, you've got to cover your bases. And with that Bardock assist, it would have been fast enough to cover his back, but no time to think about that now because he's getting opened up.
But the thing is, when you're fighting a character like Cell,
Oh, no!
Wow, oh that was unfortunate. Is he going to tag him in? Oh no, he tries to. Goku Black.
Bit too far away. All right, we see the Vegeta assist can't convert because he was already pressing buttons. That's the worst, when you feel like you can confirm, but you're stuck to something else.
Okay, now here's the opportunity. Still gets Goku Black in.
Yeah, that was a read, probably expecting a jump out or something like that, but not going to bite. No punish though, caught by the BB assist. We're going to see a little bit of damage, but again, it's not going to be a huge amount. We really need that knockdown and we need the situation, so what's next?
Okay, opportunity off Vegeta assist, but no, the patient, Zaroch, has no reason to press buttons. He gets the reflex, but no, still.
That's been quite a constant answer. They've both been kind of going for point-blank super dashes, no doubt expecting something to work out, but no one's taken the bait just yet. All right, here's the pressure. Good block, really good block. Tags, but no combo again. Really didn't believe in that one.
Oh, wow, Zaroch tries to go for the whiff punish, but he recovers in time, but Wipeout getting opened up again. Pressure opportunity here, and there we go. That's probably going to be a done and dusted Bardock.
That's the
Never I've seen one.
You combine good mix-ups with the fact that, you know, a lot of these characters are not really that low in the damage department, especially Cell. Yep, it will be.
Well, the thing about Cell is a lot of the things that will open you up are kind of those, you know, it's almost like a medium strength attack or higher. And if that starts the combo, that is a ton of damage you're about to eat.
Oh yeah, no scaling. super, super low on the scaling department. All right, we're going to see a full combo again. No need for anything more fancy. Vanish will do it. And this is a bad situation. You know, Zaroch has been pretty much just rolling that momentum train from start to finish. He's got all of his assists. He's got plenty of health. I mean, lacks meter, but one confirm into sparking. We'll see to that.
Okay, this could be an opportunity to start something though. If Wipeout, no, he drops the combo. I feel like Wipeout, he has sparking and he's got loads of resources and he's Vegeta. This is actually not a completely unwinnable situation. Zaroch's got the reflect there, but we're going to punish, and there we go, the perfect attack. Going for that, I believe that was the heavy version, so it did have the air invincibility.
Waste some of that time.
Just look at that though, all because Wipeout.
Oh no!
Oh deary me.
I mean, it's worth the risk. In some regards, already committed to the super dash. I guess probably nothing he could do to stop that one.
So unfortunately wanted to see what a final flash feels like, straight to the face.
Oof, my word.
That's a shame though, because Wipeout had such an opportunity to really start the comeback, but that one mistake has cost him half the life of his Vegeta and, to be honest, most of his sparking time.
I mean, now it's gone. You have to make that full, pretty much that one character comeback situation against Zaroch, who's got sparking and 3 characters, and that's not good. That's a bad situation right there. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's building bar.
And he got assist. Oh no, he misses it. That's a shame.
Oh, and again,
wow.
that is such a consistent and very, very sick answer right there. Just use the active frames of the light, why not? If it catches the super dash, happy days.
But that's clearly like a universal thing that we've seen Zaroch do a lot, right? He reacts to those super dashes when he's in the air. I really like that, because a lot of players tend to consider if you're in the air and you get super dashed at, there's not a huge amount you can do to kind of counter it, right? Or at the very least, your options are lower than they are if you're on the ground. Whereas Zaroch, if you super dash at him while he's in the air, sticks out that jumping light, you walk into it and it's a full combo. Because obviously it's just a jumping light, so he's going to get a full launch from it. And that's a wonderful answer. That's a consistent answer. Clearly something that he's been putting time into. And I look forward to seeing more of him later on in the day as we go on. But I do believe we have our next pair of players.
We do, and I can't see them through the pillar, so I can't talk about it because I haven't got it in my book. We didn't. Obviously, the pools have been going on right now, right?
We didn't plan this far ahead.
I didn't plan this far ahead. Sorry, guys. There are matches taking place all around. Obviously, this is pool play, so the matches we see on stream are only a fraction of the action that's actually taking place right now. And this is progressing. You know, we're starting to move forward in these pools, and now these are matches that are getting a little bit further in the bracket. You know, some of these guys would have had to win their matches to be where they are right now.
Yeah, of course, but you know, just want to say shout outs to the team here. As always, the Electronic Dojo staff are really giving the game the space that it needs.
We have this whole area dedicated to just Dragon Ball.
Obviously, you might not be able to see it here. You might see the odd shot, or obviously if you follow Electronic Dojo and all that stuff on social media, I'm sure you'll see the pictures of the venue and stuff around. But all this space just for Dragon Ball right now, and this is exactly what you want to see. And it's really nice. It's really nice because obviously this event needs to be treated with a lot of respect. You know, it is Saga event, World Tour. It is of the highest caliber this year for Dragon Ball FighterZ, and it's nice to see the space provided accordingly. But it's like, I look around and I see all these European players. You know, Ixie there, got Aethia around as well, and of course Zaroch we just saw play, and the list really does go on. So obviously shout outs to all of you guys watching as well. Welcome to the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour VSFighting 2018. We are Ketchup and Mustard as always, and we are bringing you some of the best games for Dragon Ball today, and there's only scope for it to get better and better.
I think it's great that we're starting to see a lot more travel as well. You kind of follow the players on Twitter, you kind of see the journey. You get to experience what a lot of international competition, how it kind of feels for them to kind of do the journey that many of us have to do on a regular basis, which is actually quite nice. You know, normally it's a UK boy has to travel to North America, and it's a long trip, and it's an expensive trip. And if you're doing it regularly, then, you know, may the Lord help you. But I think in this situation, it's great to see so many American players here. You know, we so rarely see North American players enter, the UK in particular. You know, we see them in Europe at certain events, but it's very rare to see them in the UK.
Oh, absolutely. I think that's, again, another testament to how good it is that VSFighting was I suppose, provided as a Saga event this time, right? You know, VSFighting really is one of the few, you know, top-tier events that we get in the UK. And it's great seeing it supported in this way.
You're going to be happy because we get to see a little bit of Yamcha.
What is this team? This is exciting.
What are both of these teams? Both of these teams are quite uncommon, I think, to say the least. We'll just use that word. But, you know, Frieza, there's so much talk around, right, how really strong is Frieza. I know a lot of the scene don't really think Frieza's too strong right now, but I think that must just come down to the fact that he's very dependent on other assists. He's not really a character that can work too well by himself. But if you're a really sick Frieza player and, you know, you have a lot of the tricks, you know, a lot of the fundamental stuff that can catch a lot of people off guard if they don't know the matchup, you can still do quite well in tournament, I think.
Okay, but the opening, though, it's going to be Majin Buu, Piccolo, and Yamcha.
That's 2 good assists right there.
Indeed. But I actually think that's going to be where a lot of this team might be able to come into play, is if Majin can get the opportunity to get something rolling, get those assists on deck, but I don't know if we're going to see it so far, as he's actually looking pretty mauled in the corner right now. Guard cancels, Yamcha comes in. Pablo is actually doing a ton of damage already with just Team Gohan.
Right, we do see the drop come up from the stupid dash. We do see a bit of a drop, a little bit of an opportunity for Yamcha, but not taken. Goes in for the wrong jump. Neutral jump to jump towards. That's not good look. Oh! Definitely just an execution error right now. Getting caught out a little bit. This should be quite good for Pablo right now, actually. I think he's got him in the corner. He's got plenty of bar. This really is a great situation. Another drop situation. I think if you both understand that you're dropping combos right here, it's really going to be, all right, well, let's try and get a nice little amount of damage here and there. It might be all we get.
That's another drop. I actually think we're yet to see Toxic actually find a full combo completed. This is actually quite a bit of a scramble so far. I suppose a lot of kind of rough around the edges play at the moment.
Yeah, there's return. Nice confirm, knowing the discs are going to come back. That's going to be a guaranteed catch if you're not ready to scout it out. We do catch out damage. That means we tag. Yes, we do. We're going to get some extra damage on this now. That can sometimes connect. I think it definitely matters just how early you go in for that death ball.
Okay, there it is, the confirm. Vanished to get a combo off Kamehameha. Another drop, but the thing is, even though both players are dropping a ton of combos, Pablo is at least getting more damage before he drops them. So, and that's just the definition of coming off better in the scramble, right? Because you just look at the difference in life, you know, even though both players are making quite a lot of mistakes, I think Pablo is kind of playing around it a bit better so far.
But if there is one place you want to get someone in the corner right now, it's going to be Piccolo. You know, Piccolo is one of those really, really dangerous corner characters, but I do wonder if Toxic actually kind of has those Piccolo mix-ups on lock, because right now he's done something in the corner and he cashed it out early, whereas he definitely should have gone for the hard knockdown.
I kind of feel like, especially at this point in the game, where of course, you know, we do have access to watching a lot of top-level Piccolos, especially in North America, you can really see what the character is supposed to do.
Oh yeah,
you know,
definitely.
Get those Hell Zone Grenade, you know, mix-ups on deck, especially if you've got the right kind of assists to kind of get you in and keep it going. Like, I imagine Yamcha assist is amazing for locking someone down while you get up the Hell Zone Grenade. But obviously you're not going to see that, as Toxic is losing his Piccolo. Majin Buu coming in pretty wounded, I must say. 40% of his life left on his bar.
Right. That's a blue combo, but it's not going to be Pablo's problem. No combo again. But it's like you said, right, even though we're seeing combos drop, Pablo's getting significantly more bang for his buck when he does manage to land something. Does he go for the tag? Yeah, we do. All right, we're going to bring him back in. Oh, wow. The read. Good stuff. Really good stuff.
I mean, 100% that's going to work out. Toxic is just not... I feel like his mobility is not super clean. So I feel like it's quite... he's finding himself locked down a lot of the time. Obviously, he's playing Majin Buu. He's a big character in himself anyway, so you know, if something's going to hit anyone, it's going to hit him. And here we go. Golden Frieza, just raw. Pablo wanting to finish this one quickly.
Now, I mean, Golden Frieza, it is going to be dangerous and just catches the jump again. Now we see the sparking pop. Yeah, the drop combo is going to give Toxic enough room to at least go for the sparking.
But if he goes level 3 now,
early.
No, that should have been level 3 with Frieza. That would have killed.
But I think this should still kill. It's not going to be instant, but is it enough? Okay. Yes, it will. All right, nice.
Okay, we have to remember, you know, that air level 3 from Frieza, that is one of those level 3s that does like all of its damage immediately, so it will blow through sparking. Because if it does just all of its damage straight away, you can't regenerate through that once the damage is dealt. But regardless, it's still going to be a game 1 for Pablo. Toxic, I think overall he's going to have to clean up his play, I think, really. The biggest problem he's got right now is his execution just is kind of failing him somewhat. He just isn't able to, he's getting enough opportunities for damage, he's just not getting damage.
Now we saw the really good cross-up. That sort of meaty cross-up can definitely work sometimes with the amateur if you kind of really sort of like enforced a ground game, but he spent his only bar of meter on the cross-up, which meant he had nothing to cash out with. Didn't even see an assist, unfortunately.
And drop from Pablo, but turning it into another super dash opportunity, so getting a combo anyway. 4 bars, this actually might be able to get the KO if he can drop it, or finish it I should say, but drops it as he does.
He definitely did drop it.
But still, you drop combo into knocked out character, not the end of the world.
Let's call it a reset. Oh, no! No, no, no. No to that.
That's a full combo there, using the Goku assist, getting that corner carry. Toxic's back to the wall again.
I'm seeing a lot of those low lights. Almost feels like Toxic actually starting to maybe hit the panic button. Not really blocking anymore, going into those low lights. And even when the opponent's airborne, and not in no dimension is that going to work.
Bringing in Majin Buu, trying to keep Piccolo alive. I think he really doesn't like the idea of playing with just a single character left. Is the Majin Buu. He's got the resources in terms of meter and sparking, but he just, again, there's an opportunity for some damage.
I like the call I actually like the call to at least change into Frieza for this matchup because I know, even though Majin Buu has got some deceivingly long limbs, you can somewhat zone this character out a little bit with, I think, Frieza at least. When you've got the right assists behind you, it's a big hitbox situation. Big hitboxes are a lot easier to zone out than smaller. Okay,
that's a full chunk of damage from Toxic. We need a little bit more of that, but no! The auto combo finish comes through from Pablo and has 6 bars. It's probably enough for a finish character, but he drops it!
Reset, mate, another reset. No worries. Knocked down. All right, level 1. We're definitely going to... Are we going to change? No, we're going to keep him alive.
No, he can't afford to. If he decided to go into Majin Buu there, all that blue life would have been gone. And Pablo going straight for Golden Frieza. We saw him win the game with this before.
Now we see Golden Frieza into an immediate change. So maybe saving that one for later. All right, we've just been informed. I think the names are actually swapped around the wrong way, guys. So sorry about that. But that should actually mean then it is Toxic out. And a Pablo Flexibar on the other side.
Yeah, this be that solo Piccolo, the character that he tried so desperately to keep alive, is probably going to be dropping anyway at this rate. Can't imagine he's going to miss this one anymore. Oh, but he does. But at this point, does it even matter? I think it's going to be so difficult for Piccolo to bring this one back.
I mean, we have seen... He has some tools. I think the danger with Piccolo is that without assists, he has... I don't want to say he's limited, because he's definitely not. But he has got some of the sort of like slower limbs, right? Making those solo comebacks is kind of difficult and very meter dependent at the same time. But all right, there's a cross up.
Okay, the problem he's going to fight, though, is obviously Pablo coming in with that Golden Freeze that he saved for a rainy day. Does still have access to his sparking. Toxic's already about halfway through his, I should think, or Pablo, I should say. Apparently the names are swapped, so we do apologize. But I do believe it was, in fact, Toxic that won that game.
Well, it is what it is. No doubt we'll be seeing Toxic later on. Good stuff. But I think it actually goes to show that it was at least it was nice to see a little bit of Golden Frieza. Even though the Golden Frieza had no bearing on the win whatsoever, it was nice to at least see it.
I mean, at least we saw the character, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's better than nothing.
But I feel like it's an interesting talking point, though, talking about Frieza, because whenever you see any of the high-level competitive players, if you follow them on Twitter or you follow them on social media, 9 times out of 10 you've probably seen a tier list or two in your time. A lot of players kind of will make their own chart and go, this is who I think are the best characters in the game, and usually Frieza is kind of at the bottom end of that. But fortunately, obviously, Dragon Ball FighterZ, it is a versus style game, team game, so you can, of course, pair Frieza with certain characters to kind of help him in areas that he struggles. But again, some characters, it's almost the point of, well, you could do that for Frieza, or you could pick someone else that is also just as good with the characters you would pair them with. So it's about finding that right balance, right? Because there do exist good Frieza players around. We obviously had Foxy Grandpa as well, was one of the premier Frieza players early on, who has, again, completely had a team change. And that's not like he's just dropped Frieza. He's completely built a new team from the ground up for a new way that he wants to play. And I think we're seeing players do that a lot. Sonic Fox, of course, is, I think, one of the prime examples of that. We've seen the Kill Sage do the same thing. Goichi Kazunoko. There are players that make dramatic changes to their teams on a whim, almost, with a week or two's practice, and then that new team or those new characters they've picked up are making such a huge difference, and they're achieving results that maybe they couldn't have done with the old team.
I remember that really amazing interview with Kazunoko, actually, where he mentioned, he was asked, everyone's picking Cell because Cell's really good in this game. Why don't you have Cell on your team? And the answer was basically, even though Cell is one of the absolute best characters in the game, without a shadow of a doubt, it was the speed. Even though Cell's really good, the team that Kazunoko has is built around playing at 1,000 miles an hour. And if he were to change any one of those characters, it would actually, it would mess with how he approaches the game. And for that reason, he has that set team in a set order because he wants to play fast. And I really like those like specific reasons that players do now sort of gravitate towards certain characters or certain combinations. It's nice to see people kind of go with still what works for them and not what is just seen as the best and must be picked under all circumstances.
But I feel like that's one of the approaches you have to make as a competitive player, though, in a game like this. Is you have to think to yourself, like, if I'm picking up a team, I pick up a character, and it's going to be my competitive team. Is it a high tier, top tier team, and I want to pick it because of that, or is it I have a specific way I want to play this game, and I'm going to pick the characters that really complement that style more. And I feel like that there are definite players in the scene that kind of see the best of both worlds in that respect. But moving on to our next game, we have here. Speaking of Cell, we now have two, both on point.
I mean, it's not really a surprise, is it? This is a good character. But I think actually having the combination of the really, really, really traditional team with that sort of Kid Buu as well. And we get to talk about Kindevu at last. And there's been so many words of Kindevu approaching Dragon Ball and being really dangerous because Kindevu is good at so many games. And I think Dragon Ball really is no exception.
Okay, but here's an opportunity. Oh no, 2 drop combos back to back, but there's the rolling attack. Immediately to seize that momentum from Kindevu.
Now we see that knockdown. Cell doing what Cell does best. And here comes that really meaty pressure. 2 amazing assists to make Cell even more dangerous.
But that's the thing, right? Again, we have Bardock, normally played on point, but we are seeing progressively more and more of him taking a back seat, because when you have his assist, it is quite amazing. But also when he's not on point, obviously you can then, see change into his level 1 to get some crazy combo potential. Kindevu coming in with the Kid Buu, Bardock just to keep him safe.
I love those options as well, where you try and sort of like cover multiple bases at once. We kind of saw that airborne S, and then obviously we saw the assist as well. If you were within anywhere on the screen in front of that, you were going to get hit in full combo.
Now Kindevu is just completely in the driver's seat here. See Jake-wise, he's trying to find opportunities, but Kindevu just is seizing them back immediately. Okay, he's found some space. There we go. There's the air-to-air he's looking for. Now he has got some bar. Does he level 3 this? No, he keeps holding the meter. But just a wake-up jump from Kindevu.
Oh, no, I'm not sure that DP was intentional.
Oh, wow, gets a full combo off this as well. Oh, the corner repositioning. Optimized stuff from Kindevu. Very cheeky.
All right, we're going to get that level 3. Hard knockdown again. And a hard knockdown when you've got half-life against 2 assists is really scary.
But it's also Bardock. Bardock when he's got you near enough cornered. Oh, wow. I actually think because...
Oh, no! It was only a matter of time before that happened.
This is why you have to delete the devices before you play.
We're in 2018, and it's July. Like, come on!
Okay, so a quick word of advice for anyone looking to play in tournaments.
Did you know you can
sit
disconnect devices?
You can go into the devices, the connected Bluetooth devices, and delete all the ones but the ones you and your opponent are using to avoid this situation.
Why is that a good idea, Mustard?
Because it stops this from happening. It stops the interruptions. Now, the thing is, players should disconnect their devices. There's no getting around it. But it is 100% worth getting in the practice of deleting your devices. Because unfortunately now, we have to think about what's going on here.
I mean, I'm assuming they'll just restart it, surely. Unless both players decide to play on.
Well,
we'll just see.
Whilst we await the decision from the powers that be, while we figure out what's going on. Because, I mean, there's always the chance that it wasn't a device and it was one of the players accidentally hit the home button. There's a chance that might have been the case.
But I think it happens so rarely. It's always, my first call is, it has to be. It had to be. I mean, maybe that's just me being a little bit too judgmental, I guess, but
maybe
it's possible.
But regardless,
we'll find out.
While we wait for the powers that be to decide on what's going to be happening, let's talk a little bit about what we've seen so far. Kindevu already looking super clean. I think not a huge surprise at all. He definitely has the right kind of team for it.
An exceptionally meta team as well. If you're playing Dragon Ball at high level, having Bardock, having Cell, having Kid Buu, it's definitely not a bad call because all 3 of those characters are ridiculously strong. But that's the nature of Dragon Ball, right? There are so many characters in this game actually that are good. And when you combine any character in the game with, in some ways, any order of some of the really top tier characters, it can still work. And I think that's really the beauty of the variety of the game.
Well, I think it's you look at the individual characters and what they bring on the team, and it's like, of course they go well together. Kid Buu has that insane assist that just locks you in place for so long, and locking you in place with characters like Cell that have those long limbs, you can get those instant dash mix-ups on deck. Bardock assist, just the range it covers, the speed. Bardock being on your team means you might get some crazy combo extensions and damage potential from, you know, catching into him super wise. Okay, so I do believe we've just got the word in that unfortunately we are going to have to restart the match. So we just have to shake it off, forget it happened, delete the devices, and make sure that it doesn't happen again.
Well, if it's going to happen, at least it happens at the very beginning of pools, like really, really early days. You know, with this, if it happens later in tournament, obviously it's a little bit more of a problem, right? So if it's early pool stages, we'll just clear it out. And then, I don't even know what you're talking about, mate. I don't even know what you're talking about.
What happened? We have skipped a lapse in time.
Game 1, ready to go.
And now we are, for the first time, going into Kindevu versus Jake Wise Gambit.
I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. But from what we did see, actually, you know, in all seriousness, it was extreme dominance from Kindevu. Yep. It was like, you know, playing super, super fast and really just going with what makes the character so strong. So it's not really surprising at all to see him do well. I do, off the back of at least that first game, I reckon this should very well be a 2-0 for Kindevu.
Maybe. I think Jake Wise did show some signs of, you know, knowledge. Like he had some cool execution. He got some air-to-airs. So clearly he understands what he's doing. It's just a question of whether it will work against Kindevu. Because unfortunately, before the point that we did have the pause, Kindevu was definitely kind of in control of what was going on.
Oh, well, sometimes it can kill momentum, can't it? When these match restart situations have to happen, I think sometimes if you're really feeling yourself and doing well, and then the game basically pauses, it can be quite difficult to go, well, how do I get back into that flow I was just in? You know, sometimes when you're really in the zone. But I think if there's one player that won't have that issue, it's going to be Kindevu. You know, Kindevu is old school.
He's been around for a while. Yeah, he's. I think as long as I've been involved in fighting games, he was. I've seen him around, and even then, like I'm sure he was around long before I was. Yeah, back in 2011 to now.
We're just 2011 scrubs, mate. We're 2011 scrubs.
New school, man. New school.
New schoolers.
But while we wait for this game to get underway, of course, welcome. This is a Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour 2018, live at VSFighting 2018 in the heart of Birmingham, in the middle of the United
Kingdom. This is the home. This is where we all come from. Oh. So we've just been informed. The original call was restart match was a possibility, but they've agreed to resume. So we're going to go back and just kind of take that game, pluck it back out and say it's back in now, we're going to play it. So Kindevu back in the lead.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we'll be going any second now.
They'll count down. I'm assuming it's going to count down and then play on from that point. So Kindevu definitely still in the lead.
The problem is, this is a very unfortunate position of the match to be in to resume because they're currently literally playing. Okay, there we go. Back into the swing of things. Here we go. Nothing happened. Kindevu, of course, definitely in the lead.
Now he's going to take the dive kick minus frames. I really like that though, because he acknowledged that the assist had just been used. So when you block that dive kick, there really is nothing G can do to stop it from being your turn.
Oh, there's a miss from Kindevu. He just air dashed, and just as he air dashed, or went for the back dash in the air.
It's always so annoying when that happens. Right as you press a button, you just get clipped. But that's going to be another character down for Kindevu, who's going to be 3 characters healthy. Jake Wise in big trouble now. Still has sparking, so not all hope is lost.
I mean, of course, we have seen Gotenks comebacks before using, you know, max sparking by himself.
I mean, I can see Sonic Fox in the crowd. He literally invented Gotenks comebacks.
I mean, exactly. But I think it really requires a certain kind of clutch to be able to do that. We'll have to see if Jake Wise has that himself. As Kindevu gets an opportunity, but no, he drops. Kindevu not looking quite as clean right now. I wonder if the pause has kind of flustered him up a little bit.
Now, that was a clean confirm, though. It can be uncharacteristic, you know, so quite difficult to confirm individual hits. Sparking, but Kindevu's not going to have that problem. And that one straight punch is going to be all she wrote. Plenty of damage on the table. And there you go. Jake Wise going to be down 1 game and a fresh new game to restart things.
Okay, we did get there in the end. Kindevu looking really strong. I think shortly after the restart, he didn't look quite as clean, but by the end, 100% was back full into the swing of things. Oh, but I think he just made a big read there. Jake Wise is starting off with that, you know, the low medium immediately, but Kindevu just straight up ran at him. I wonder if he expected Jake Wise to backdash.
Yeah, sometimes you can just make those hard read situations. It doesn't work. Unfortunately, that one miscalculation has almost cost him a cell, but not ready for the tag. That's one thing about this next level of Dragon Ball. Those like raw tags, they're super common and for good reason.
Well, because it was off a reflect, right? You know, Kindevu was like, okay, we'll get this reflect, push you back, get the tag in. And that's exactly what he was able to do, get Bardock in. And Cell is now, even though Cell took so much damage from that initial combo from Jake Wise, Kindevu's Cell has regenerated it all back. And it is actually Jake Wise's Cell that's now looking pretty low on health. If he gets tagged by anything, he's in trouble.
The call was made to use the regular tag and not a wake-up spark. You know, Kindevu, I think, really wants to save against caught by the chain. And that's a dead Cell 1,000%. It's going to be Gotenks up next.
That's one of those weird situations, right? Because Jake Wise was definitely in the lead there. He had so much damage on Kindevu's Cell, but because he was able to safely tag him out, and Jake Wise wasn't able to do the same for his own, he's now lost for the first character, despite being in such control early on.
And goes to show the change of momentum, man. It really is a pendulum in some respects when it comes to Dragon Ball. You've got to make sure you maintain pressure all the time, because the second you give him a chance to survive, look at how much health Kindevu's cell was actually recovered as well.
Oh, I like that setup from Kindevu with the blocks. Jake Wise is opened up by the cell assist, but Kindevu wasn't ready for it. Ooh, wow! Raw 2H from Jake Wise. A good opportunity here to do some serious damage to Bardock. Now, how much bar did he spend? There you go, so straight for the level 3. I like this, because now it's going to be one of those guaranteed mix-up situations. He has Vegeta assist on the back of it if he needs to, and Kindevu might lose Bardock if he gets opened up here, but it depends on what the mix-up is. Ooh, wow. Wake up button from Kindevu.
Challenges it. Super, super brave. But there actually was a lot of respect enforced by Jake Wise, almost expecting a button press, but didn't capitalize. His turn, wonderful bait on the reflex.
Okay, does he bring in Bardock, or does he go for Cell? No, he's bringing in Bardock 100%. Oh no, he goes for Kid Buu.
He wants the kid.
There's the patience reflecting out. I love the patience of Jake Wise, but no, he throws a key blast in the air and gets opened up for it. Oh, that's a full combo. That's probably going to be a dead Gotenks.
I'll be honest, I kind of feel like getting in Kid Buu there just kind of had Kindevu going, okay, all right, thanks.
Maybe.
There we go.
Because now, obviously, Bardock is fully healed again. Cell is half-life. This is actually a lot of damage that Jake Wise has to do. And there's just a run in.
No.
Oh,
no.
Perfect attack into sparking. Oh, no! That must have been a touch of death, but he dropped it. There's only one reason you see a Cell go for a perfect attack into sparking, because that he has a locked and loaded full damage combo ready to go, but unfortunately dropped from Kindevu, completely wasting his own sparking, which, to be honest, has actually given Jake Wise a way back into this game, because if he can find an opportunity to either get rid and tag into one of these lower health characters, or just get rid of Kid Buu here, he might be able to do it.
He's got wow! He has to block and respect first. I think Kindevu may have expected a backdash, and that's what the 2M was going to be for in that situation, but doesn't even matter. Just gets caught by the low. Jake Wise can't pop sparking, and he's going to go down 2-0 to Kindevu.
Yep, clean play from Kindevu, aside from that final touch of death drop. But to be honest, I mean, the knowledge was there, and the absolute dominance was there for the whole time. I think Jake Wise had some signs of greatness in that game. He just wasn't quite able to follow through with them. I feel like whenever he was able to do some serious damage to Kindevu's team, Kindevu was able to just tag him out and just basically undo a lot of that work. Whereas whenever Jake Wise would take a ton of damage, Kindevu was able to basically keep his characters in the game. So
yeah,
eventually he was able to lose them.
The one moment we saw Kid Buu come back in, I really feel like that was a situation where, you know, he had so much. It was also a combination of having a really healthy Kid Buu, but also a lot of bar. You know, so the second you've kind of really forced that Kid Buu into the fight, Kindevu's going to be able to, you know, very comfortably kind of block the incoming mix-up, because there wasn't 2 assists there either. So if you've got a full health Kid Buu and loads of bar, and you've just blocked the mix-up, that's not that hard to block. It's like, well, thanks very much. You know, it's a great situation for Kindevu, and he's been moving on very comfortably. I do think, actually, we have Sonic Fox sitting down again, so we'll be seeing him play again.
We do. So I do wonder what stage of the pool this might be at, though. Obviously, we know this is still winner's side, as we did see Sonic Fox, you know, quite comfortably advanced through before with his new team of Zamasu, Bardock, and Android 16. So this is round 2. So this is actually the second game for Sonic Fox in the brackets. Thank you very much, production. But that does mean that, you know, he's clearly having a good day. You know, he was here for, you know, God knows how long beforehand, you know, playing casuals before the tournament actually started. So I'm sure he's nice and warmed up in this environment. But it is going to be this team again.
But we see a little bit of TN today. And TN's actually, gradually as time goes on, becoming a little bit more popular. You know, he wasn't really picked that much at the beginning of the game's lifespan, but around now, a lot more people are starting to sort of investigate TN. You know, obviously, you know, the elephant in the room is always going to be Apology Man having what you would definitely say could be the finest TN in the business right now, but it's going to be Vader with that 21 Vegeta and TN team. Is it going to be enough to take out Sonic Fox? That's the question.
So reflecting Sonic Fox straight away.
Okay, we see a confirm. We are going to get some damage on the board. It's not going to be a huge amount of damage, and challenged by Sonic Fox, just pressing the buttons.
That was it. He went straight for down tech into buttons. Sonic Fox 100% expected Vega to stagger something there. And there's the corner for the wake-up jump. And another reflect, Sonic Fox. Showing some good defense right now.
I love that. I love that option. Combining the basically, you know, the airborne pound with the TN. Being able to pick it up. Would have got a situation on block as well, I think, but there's that Zamasu pickup. Here we go. Right, what's the mix?
Oh, he just went for that point-blank 2H. I think he expected Vader to try and jump out the corner.
Oh, another down tech into buttons. You've got to watch out. That's really one thing that Fox does way more than a lot of the competition in the game is down tech into quick button press, because so many situations where you think it's your turn to press buttons, you can press the advantage. But he actually might recover and hit the ground long before you do. And if you've already pressed a button, he's going to open you up. And speaking of opening up, now there's elements of a happy birthday, and Vegeta is hurting.
I feel like it's because he's got two characters that have those kind of like recapture possibilities, right? If you do tag those hits, it does automatically put the opponent character in front of you. Bardock's very good for that. But it does mean if you grab one of those hits, you down tech into it, it's going to work. And there's that dirty stuff. Bardock with a level 3 knockdown in the corner has so many possibilities, especially when he's got assists behind him. And the assist to be used for the damage here, that's probably going to be dead.
Yeah, now Bardock's combos, they take so long as well. You build so much meter during it.
Okay, now this is a perfect situation for Sonic Fox. It's 3v1, he's got Zamasu, he's got both assists. And Vader, of course, now has just the double overhead. Vader gets caught. There's an opportunity again for Sonic Fox, probably going to be near the corner by the end. Not spending the resources. Oh, and here's the setup. He has the orbs in play, and there's a chance, but no, Vader able to get out of it.
Oh, this is a lifeline, and it's a lifeline he has to capitalize. I love the chase down. We're going for those lights just to get the confirm as well. We're going to see a knockdown here, but he drops it. That could have been a nerve thing. You know, there's an element of cleanness we've seen from Vader the entire time. Dropping that is rare.
Well, I think he made the read on the backdash. He effectively did the hobbit. And there's the reaction. It's like the catch.
Oh, yes, it will.
Wow, that is some utility that you don't tend to see with too many level 3s in this game. Because that was just an immediate reaction. The second he saw the Dodon Ray, level 3.
Yeah, because the level 3 doesn't do much damage, but the payout is instant. You know, the payout really is that sort of anywhere situation. And Fox looking good. Vader gets the first hit again, but he got the first hit in game 1 as well.
Another dropped combo. Really can't be afforded to drop combos against a player like Sonic Fox, who is immediately going to be running away with it.
That's actually, I think that's like the 4th time on stream we've seen Fox drop that confirm in the corner.
Oh no, just misses the tag as well. Vader missing quite a lot of damage on the table. And there's a super dash. I do not think Vader expected it to track him like that.
Oh, Fox is going to get pressure. Here come the orbs. Right, the wake up reflecting super dash. Good call, because it didn't mean that Fox pressed a button. And he got opened up clean. Right, there's the knockdown. He needs to get more than he's getting right now, because it's not enough.
You get to spend both bars. Oh, and a full screen Vader just not ready for the super dash again. Sonic Fox has been doing that all day.
Give me that 21. Pressure, there's the low this time, because he went overhead before.
I mean, that's probably enough damage, right? Super dash. Is he going to need to spend the bar? He will, just for that final little bit of damage. Now, Sonic Fox, this is a great situation. The Zamasu, we've seen how much damage it can do when he has the character lead. And that's what he's going in now. Zamasu is still in front. The flight comes through. What can he do with it? Oh, finds an opportunity.
Okay, this is kind of bleak. Leave it outright. Go for a super dash just in case. He has had such amazing mileage out of those super dashes all day. Oh, the drop. I feel like we went from super clean from Vader to it's just not looking at like it was before. And I think that's really dangerous against Fox, because you're giving him a lifeline when to beat Fox, you have to play perfect.
And there comes Bardock. Takes a little bit of damage, but still alive. Zamasu starting to heal up. We know that's the main thing that Sonic Fox wants. However, this might actually be a dead Vegeta. He has 5 bars. He has 3 characters worth of damage.
He is 100% dead. Level 1, level 1, level 1. Oh,
actually, foregoes a little bit of the blue life from Zamasu just to make sure that he gets the KO. I think, to be honest, probably worth it. A little bit of blue life in exchange of getting rid of Vegeta. So now it's TN by himself again. And there is a complete cross-up setup from Sonic Fox. 4 bars now.
Oh. Wake up. Oh, the vanish! Doesn't work out because he's gonna die anyway. And to be honest,
back here, mate. Where do you think you're going? Tries to go for the tick grab.
If Chaozu survives, you're playing Tien wrong.
Oh, no.
Let's pick it up. A little bit too low to the ground, maybe. Oh, the dirty stuff.
Wow.
The dirt.
I mean, how many cross-ups was that?
There you go. That's what he tried to do. Blue combos, so, you know, it's not going to be the finest, not going to be perfection. But I don't think he really worries too much, to be honest. Let me look at the health difference.
But you see the sparkiness of Sonic Fox. Even though he did just eat a full Chaozu level 3. I mean, you'd never tell by the amount of life he's got left.
And he should be able to pick up on this one. Yep, instant air jump into level 3. Oh, he tried! He tried the instant jump into level 3, and I do believe it would have worked.
Oh, no, the bags. The bags. Drop combo into bags.
Yeah, I dropped my combo. I don't care. It's just because I don't care, isn't it? All right, here comes Vader. This is the one chance for revenge, but because he used Chaozu, he actually isn't going to get that single situation on Oki, you know? If you're single TN, you kind of need that Chaozu guaranteed block. And without it, it's going to be difficult. Oh, back-to-back overhead. Oh, my.
Yeah, Sonic Fox looking as clean as we expect, aside from that kind of final combo drop. But I think there's going to be a lot of elements of that today, though. Is seeing, because to be honest, like Fuse Zamasu is still a relatively new character. Obviously, you know, one of the newer DLC characters alongside Vegito, but doesn't really get used too much in terms of like competitive gameplay. I feel like, yeah, we've seen the character. You know, he's got all these crazy flight cancels and these orbs and all this wacky stuff he can do. it takes time to figure that out usually, unless you kind of naturally understand the game a lot. I think it's fair to say that players at this top level, they tend to understand the game a bit faster and more efficiently than the general.
I think top players general across multiple fighting games, they just kind of have a gauge of picking up mechanics a lot quicker than the rest of the competition, and that kind of goes hand in hand with new content. You know, it really does work quite well. And, you know, Fox really is one of the main players that can do that. It's why he's among the scene as one of the players that's had, I think, some of the highest amount of new teams in tournament. You know, not a lot of players, they'll play multiple teams for fun, and they'll have different characters. Yeah, sure, they'll play in casuals or whatever. But in tournament, a lot of players tend to have a set team. Whereas Fox, every major, he's been making alterations here and there, you know, and I feel like, again...
Not quite every major,
well,
but
it's most of the majors. Sure. But then from Combo Breaker to CEO, he was kind of going with traditional again. And then the defeat he took at CEO kind of went, right, well, let's try and go for another, you know, refresh. And that's what we're seeing at VSFighting. That's what we saw before then as well.
I do wonder if we're going to see this new team the whole tournament, or if he still has the kind of, you know...
In terms of confidence, do you reckon?
Maybe, because clearly he's looking good with it. But at the same time, like, we know that obviously Goichi's here, his teammate Kill Sage is here. But at the same time, like, I feel like he's the kind of player that wouldn't really dabble too much in multiple teams in the same event. You know, I feel like if we see him go to a team, it's going to be kind of that's the main thing he's going to be sticking with for a while. So I wonder if we're actually get the chance to see anything else.
Now, we can see CD Clark versus Mad Wolf Dynamite up next. There's going to be, I promise, no bias here, even though CD Clark is a Leicester local, comes from our local.
Yep, so CD Clark is one of our local boys down at Hyper Combo Leicester, which is our local event in that part of the country. CD Clark has been there from, you know, the day we started it to now, you know, one of the absolute regulars. And I believe Dragon Ball FighterZ is one of the games that he puts the most time into by far. And he plays a very interesting team. It's Broly, Android 21, and Goku. But it's always point Broly. So it's always about really trying to get that train going early on. Because I think Broly with particularly a beam assist is quite dangerous. And then, of course, you have a lot of damage potential. You know, Goku himself brings quite a lot of stability in terms of like team synergy. But the 21, you know, he does have... He's got all the optimals, he's got all the tech. But I kind of feel like the main superstar of his team is the kind of the Broly-Goku synergy. I feel like that's the strongest element of his team, really, in my opinion. Well, we'll see how he fares in this situation. I know Clark actually does have experience in UK tournaments, but you know, he's been training for this tournament. You know, he's been training for VSFighting because Dragon Ball is one, as you said, right, one of his main games he competes in. And when it comes to the UK, it really doesn't get any bigger than the Dragon Ball World Tour live in Birmingham. Well, the thing is, CD Clark is also a very emotional player. You know, he very much kind of, you know, plays from the gut a lot of the time. Like, he understands mechanically, you know, how the games work and what he should be doing. But I feel like it's almost, when I say he's an emotional player, I don't mean he plays silly. I feel like it's more that what happens in the game can affect him a lot, like physically, you know. And it's that hand in hand goes with like loss of concentration or, you know, perhaps not playing as clean as you should. But on the flip side, if it's going really well and you're feeling it, that can go to your advantage. I think that kind of works out when you take emotional players. It's kind of like one extreme or the other, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. It's the double-edged sword of being an emotional player, right? When it's going well for you, you ride that momentum unlike anyone else. But when it's not going so well, it's a bit harder for you to keep yourself composed. Now, we'll see how it fares. You know, just a reminder, I believe this should be stage 2 of pools right now. So, you know, this would be a set in winners. So we'll find out who's going to be moving on a little bit further in the bracket. Well, going out of a pool in winners is always, you know, that's best case scenario because it's that comfort zone later on. So if memory serves me, the winner of this could actually be fighting Sonic Fox in this pool. But just quickly, I do believe it's CD Clark is going to be the Broly player here, as this is definitely CD Clark's team. I've never seen 21. Clark play Piccolo. No. Outright. There's the grab. He's going in for the tech grab early, and of course, when you have the opponent cornered as Broly, that's a lot of damage potential off of the grab. All right, we see a knockdown. Now we'll see what comes next. Just caught by the low, not watching his toes. And we see the conversion from the assist as well. Comfortable situation right now for Clark. Yep, 100%. He's able to get that first character out of the way. And this is that Broly I was talking about, that synergy. Oh, and that raw grab. What a call out from Mad Wolf. The startup of the armor and the command grab, they kind of were so close together that the armor had disappeared right as the command grab was active. All right, there's the knockdown. It's a start, but he needs more than this. Going in with the Lariat Express, guarantees it with the assist. That's what I was talking about, right? Is the synergy between you know, Goku having that beam and Broly by himself. All right, level 3. Come much damage. And again,
oh my god!
I think he just tried to hold up on Wake Up.
There's something so disgustingly meaty about that. Just from full screen, a charge, no care. Let's just go.
A Mad Wolf Dynamite now. He's left with just Android 16 against Broly. And the armor, armor meets armor. How does it feel?
Respect me! I will demand respect. Now we see a combo. He drops the low. Yeah, he drops the low.
I think the majority of CD Clark's damage right now has just come from just a Lariat Express. He's just like slamming him into the wall over and over and over again.
But I wonder, you know what? I feel like in that situation, Clark was not ready for a button to be pressed out of that.
Okay, well, there's actually a good opportunity for Man with Dynamite because he does have quite a lot of resources, and CD Clark opted to go for his sparking early.
Oh, good call.
He's going to jump up.
He's have loads of bar too. This
absolutely.
Could be very close to death, if not death. Because we're going to get the early toss. I wonder if that's going to be a conversion. No, we just take the damage outright with 3 bars left to go. We can definitely kill guaranteed. We see the level 3 reversal. That's a start, but there's no sparking from either side, so that's the dangerous thing.
I do love that choice though from Mad Wolf, because the level 3 was one of his only real options getting out of that, aside from just making a very hard read and a take grab. But there it is, the guard cancel coming through.
A lot of bar being spent to just survive from Mad Wolf's situation, and finally, he is going to go down. One game.
Just quickly, this is definitely CD Clark playing Broly, Goku, and Android 21. So we will need to get those names switched around. CD Clark is going to be going up 1 game here. It's Mad Wolf Dynamite and Lariat Express with the Goku. Even if you do block it, he's still going to be given a ton of advantage. And there's the confirm and more corner carry coming through. He's used both assists.
And Clark had so much time, like during that block string, to acknowledge that at no point did Mad Wolf block low. And the second he caught sight of that, we just saw a low come through. Is that death?
Yeah, that's death. Only needs 1 bar, sure. There's no need to do more.
Oh.
There we go. CD Clark.
Pain.
That's what we're saying, right? That's what Broly can do. If Broly can get momentum going and he has the Goku behind him, that can be super dangerous. And there's the tick grab. You see Mad Wolf Dynamite's patience against him.
If you're going to sit there and block, I think that really is going to send a message to anyone that has a command grab situation to kind of, well, that's going to open up my offense quite significantly. And now it's really going to force Mad Wolf to try and sort of defend in other means. And that might make him squirm a little bit. There's the tick, command grabs of his own, but because it's Piccolo, minimal damage.
But even then, right, yeah, we see the rush just miss completely, but as soon as the Goku beam is blocked, it's party time. And there we go, gets the shield, but isn't going to even need it, as that's another character. CD Clark looking really good.
Yeah, we just need 1 more character the entire time. He's got sparking as well. He's got plenty of bar. I mean, Mad Wolf, he has a situation where maybe he can come back, but there's the confirm. Oh my word.
He can combo off this. He can combo off this 100%. He's going for the sparking too.
Oh, there it is. All right, there's the reset.
Reset into grab that actually might have killed, but of course Mad Wolf going up with the sparking as soon as he could. That was the absolute smart thing to do.
Yeah, he had no choice. He absolutely had to go for a sparking right there, otherwise he was going to die guaranteed. And because it was level 1 sparking, Clark, it's already ran out.
But this actually happened last time, and it's going to be Brody. This is probably going to do enough. Obviously, the sparking boost says probably death. Yeah, of course. Now, this is actually a huge piece of the team gone. CD Clark's Broly is such a hard worker on the team itself. Obviously, there's no slouch for 21 that we haven't actually had the chance to see yet. It's pretty much been the Broly show.
And now Mad Wolf is just going in, but unfortunately, if you're going to try and go ham out of desperation, you got to watch out for those 21 limbs. If you walk into those, you're going to take a full combo, and he's paying the price for it right now.
Of course, 16's a donut.
Disgusting.
Oh, and the instant cross-up. Instant cross-up coming through from CD Clark, and a clean victory moving through the next stage of pools, where I believe he has to fight Sonic Clark.
I believe he was talking about his path, and if he made it into stage 3, he mentioned that Fox was definitely like one of the paths he could have gone into. So, we might see that come up next. Who knows? But it's nice to see Clark still doing well. This is an earlier stage in pool, so it's not the very end where things get hyper serious. But he's looking in good form. I think the training's starting to pay off.
No, absolutely. But that's why it can be important. If you've got a local, go to it. He goes to our local every 2 weeks.
If you're near a local scene, go. That's it.
And
that's the message.
It does mean that every 2 weeks at the local, we do play some Dragon Ball. We do get some games in. And I think it is actually me that plays him the most of anyone there for Dragon Ball. And it's good, because it's good fun, right?
Taught him everything he knows.
Yeah, of course. I taught him everything.
The mentor. You're the ultimate mentor.
Of course. Even though I've never played like any of the characters on his team, 100%. But if he does have to play against Sonic Fox next, that's a match that I'm personally really excited to see. Because it's going to be... I think Sonic Fox is kind of the elephant in the room in this pool.
Oh, yeah.
So he's the one to watch for sure, but... That's personally a match I would love to see. But moving on, I do believe we have, is it RMZ taken to the stage again?
I believe it should be, yeah. That should be RMZ.
Cool. Right, now RMZ, we've seen have some clean play already. The big change, RMZ, we've of course seen him with Cell from day one to now, but it looks like he swapped it out for Android 16. So that's quite interesting. Considering Android 16 being one of those characters that was super popular early on, definitely fell out of favor after the nerfs, but is slowly creeping his way back into a number of teams around the world. And maybe this could be another one he fits well on.
It feels like one of those things where 16 was such a popular character early on, and then when the nerfs happened, and obviously 16 lost the hard knockdown, lost some of the armor and the hard knockdown on the command grab, I think that put a lot of people in a situation where it kind of caused a lot of players to experiment with other characters. Well, now 16's a little bit weaker, let's explore some other options. And some of those players have actually started to, over time now, kind of gravitate back towards 16. RMZ, I believe, though, is not one of those examples. I know he actually has always been rocking Hit. I think Hit's his favorite character, or one of, absolutely, because I don't recall there ever being a team he plays that doesn't have Hit in it. It used to be, obviously, Adult Gohan, Hit, and Cell.
I remember seeing a Hitless team at one of the WSO Opens. But that again was a while ago, and that's obviously a regional event. So whilst take nothing away from WSO, it's an amazing event. It's not a major event, right? So I'm not sure if we'll be seeing that kind of secondary team at this point of competition, but it does look like it's going to be WF Shadow against RMZ here.
RMZ is hungry. That's the thing about RMZ, is that it's been a long time since a game has come out that has made RMZ as hungry as he is now. And when RMZ is hungry, he trains hard. He's never satisfied until he gets the top 8, or if he's in top 8, the next stage. He's one of those guys that's really sort of like eager to place within top 3 at any tournament he goes to. And I know, for a fact, he's been practicing hard for VSFighting.
I mean, and there's no reason not to, right? If you are a UK player and you are a Dragon Ball player, you are at VSFighting. There is no two ways about it.
If you're not, you're making a massive mistake.
I mean, 100%. If not being at VSFighting, if you're a UK player, is the biggest mistake a Dragon Ball player could have made. If you are not here, you should have been, and I am sad.
No exceptions. No exceptions. But I believe we're loading in right now, so...
But on the subject of Hit, though, is a character that, again, Sonic Fox was one of the players that really put this character on the map early on, was kind of the premier Hit player. But all the time while we were seeing Sonic Fox, RMZ was playing Hit in the UK and doing well in our events here, having a lot of knowledge of the character, but is still sticking with the character. And it makes you wonder, how ready can people be for Hit if no one plays him anymore? The character will seem to have certain flaws.
Wow!
Wow, what a read already from RMZ.
Immediate DP, but then that's answered back by an air grab. It's hard read, layered on top of hard read, but RMZ is going to get the first significant blood of the match.
I mean, he does have another assist, but he's going to use it. Oh, wow, Ooh. Super dash straight into the tag.
All right, we want to get him back in. Come here, team boy. Now, that's not going to kill. He has to go for the reset, and I like the call to just reset the combo. Let's save the bar for later. A bit too far away for the command grab. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but he does get a full combo in this at least. Not going to do a giant amount of damage, but definitely going to be setup potential, which RMZ just manages to delay his wake up, get out of it safely. And the tech on the Dragon Rush RMZ. The reactions, and there is the punish, reflecting into the punish.
It's like one of the things that if you grind hard enough, these little nitty-gritty details about matchup knowledge, they start to come into play.
But that's just it. You have to be really careful. When you vanish on block after anything, if the vanish is going to put you in the corner, you have to be so worried about that option, especially a player like RMZ that's going to know a Shadow. So there's an opportunity to do well here.
Oh, tries to answer back, just caught by the heavy. Nothing else required, and now he's got lots of meter. Is he going to go for the knockdown here? Yes, he is. And the question is going to be, what's the mix-up on the end of this?
Well, it's going to be an honest mix-up, because he doesn't have assists behind him. I say honest, it's still going to be one of those mix-ups. But backing off, RMZ, he doesn't want to be too... I actually wonder if he was trying to bait the sparking there.
Speaking of bait, the bait on the reflect from Shadow is going to give him an empty vanish, and he's going to punish it accordingly. This definitely should be 16 out of the picture. Right, level 1 again, yes. And we've seen another level 1 come through, but it's going to be Cell now with sparking ready to go at the very beginning. I think going for Cell was going to give him a better option than neutral, especially against Adult Gohan.
No, this is going to be great. You have sparking options with Cell now. Oh, tries to get the 2H, but the vanish for the vanish.
Patience. I think he's been baited out quite significantly before, so he's not going to bite just yet. Oh, hit comes in, but no connects.
That was a chance, but I just don't think he expected it to connect. Oh, but the backdash. Neither player wants to overextend here, because Shadow is able to completely even things out, but there's the air-to-air. RMZ with the clean stuff, as corner.
All right, here's the setup. Goes in for that. Probably would have been a safe jump, I believe. That might have been the specific normals going in.
Ooh.
Goes in for the instant overhead, but unfortunately just drops the forward dash, so he just gives him all the time in the world to stand up.
but it also gets him punished clean. Shadow's going to take it. No! I think he misses that.
That's a crucial combo to drop. It's such an even situation, but Shadow hasn't got sparking. He needs the damage.
And in the second, Shadow was able to build some space. He tried to go for the Air Kamehameha, Super Dash, reactionary punish into now a level 3 from hit. This is an opportunity for him to lose cell if he gets it wrong here.
Oh, and one of the first times I've actually seen a Dragon Rush come through all day. There really hasn't been much, I think, demands to go for a grab yet.
Oh yeah, but the second hit comes out. Obviously, Dragon Rush is being very prominent with hit, particularly of all characters.
He's so grounded, right? If you can establish a strong ground game, grabs become a lot more dangerous. Nice block on the low. More pressure, just getting out there to a safer distance.
I do love that by RMZ though. He's just using every opportunity to just build space. He does not want to put himself in harm's way, but there is the clean 2H, 3 bars. Yep, just going straight into the level 3. This will be knockdown territory. Shadow, he doesn't have access to sparking, but he does have plenty of bar.
But I mean,
does he wake up level 3?
Does he go for the Hail Mary? Oh, maybe have been given an opening too. More pressure. We see an assist and the unblockable to finish the plate.
You know, I actually love the choice to go for the unblockable there instead though, because if Shadow was going for level 3, it would have lost to it for sure. But I think RMZ is the kind of player that he's playing for the set. He's not playing for the one game. He's going to go, right, I'm going to give you a very obvious gap to level 3, but I'm going to go for a grab. I'm going to tick grab into it. So now we're going into the second game with RMZ knowing, right, I made that kind of hard read and it worked. Let's play game 2 now. With Shadow taking his time, of course. You need to take all the seconds
I think
you can.
Obviously, it's 2 out of 3, and some of the games, when they're stomps or when they're dominant, can be fast. You know, so if you're going to have any time to think about it and reflect on what happened, you kind of need to take that time in between games because it's all you're going to have access to. But speaking of which, RMZ, another first hit. And there's that knockdown. There are tech options, and that's what the jump in was for right there. But Shadow opting to actually just stay on the ground, using the nerf almost against him.
Okay, there's an air to air, but Shadow doesn't extend it with the bar. He's trying to save it. And he has one for now. And some opportunities, RMZ. You see the patience. There's the assist. Oh, finds the opportunity. As soon as he sees there's a gap in the pressure, squeezes a jab out in between, and this is a great opportunity. But no, he drops the combo.
Goes for the wrong kind of jump right there. But I think he's been so far in the lead. It's not going to punish him too heavily, but we do see spinning attack come through and opened up again. RMZ just has been clipping him with those wayward lights. And
I mean, to be honest,
consistently.
we've actually seen Shadow do that a couple of times now. When he gets an opportunity, he gets the wall bounce with Cell, and he tries to run in for a medium, and he gets lead towards medium. He gets the overhead, so I think he's just making a slight execution error, but it is costing him so much potential damage and momentum, and he's probably going to lose Team Gohan now. Does he need the bar?
Wow. 100% that's a dead character. There's Goku up next. The thing is, you look at all 3 of these characters that RMZ plays, and you just look at the health bars. He's yet to be challenged at all.
At least in this game. The first game was a lot closer, but this time not looking quite the same. However, this might be an opportunity. If he goes level 1 into level 3, he has the bar. He can definitely get the kill here. Yeah, that's it. He's going to spend all of the resources, but he is going to even things out character-wise. And he hasn't used sparking this time, so now Shadow has found a way back into the game.
That really was his ticket, wasn't it? His entry into things.
He just evened it out. He just needs to even out.
But what's not even is the meter.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what's worrying. That's the scary thing. Goes in for the cross-up, but pressing buttons. Interesting time to press buttons, but I think he must have just been confident. Hey, if he's gone in for it and he hasn't comboed, then maybe he is going for a grab. Maybe that was the read.
Raw level 3. Coming through on the end of this. No messing around. Safe jump setup. Patience. Sparking. Has the opportunity. Oh,
Hits.
wonderful stuff.
That was a great setup, actually. Hit kind of keeping them locked down, allowing that 2M to come through. Oh my word! What?
I have never seen that before.
It's just, yeah, fair enough.
Oh wow, another option. And the box super dash tries to get the Dragon Rush, but not quite. Now Shadow, he has run out of sparking now. So that's gone. So you have to be a little bit more honest, but there's the raw opening there. The crowd definitely getting behind RMZ here. Definitely want to see him move on.
But he's in trouble right now, though. He just got clipped. That's the danger. RMZ can definitely make the comeback, but I think there's going to be a bit of an even split. There's going to be some Shadow supporters in this crowd, 100%. RMZ has to make a solo hit comeback, but the real key here is that he's got sparking.
I mean, yeah, sparking in Cell does not have a lot of health. This comeback actually isn't.
What?
What a read! He read those! Was that a backdash read?
I think so.
That's what he got.
I mean, he backdashed and it connected, so I can only assume so.
Wow.
Ooh, the patience, the respect.
He just walked up and did nothing.
I think he expected a level 3. Hasn't been forced to use sparking yet. Oh, the clip.
It is Shadow. If Shadow opts to tag out to try and bring his health back for Goku, I mean, Cell is in dangerous territory. This is actually a really difficult decision for Shadow to make, unless he can turn this into level 3, which he will.
Now this has to be the time RMZ pops sparking. You know, he can't be. That's actually one thing. RMZ has been quite uncharacteristically greedy before with that sparking, but popping it now when he knows he has no choice. I definitely agree with it. And now here comes the pressure. The bait on the reflect! RMZ got hit with that himself in the previous game, but now it's been flipped into Shadow's core.
Okay, Goku regenerated some of the life, but we're almost dead even now. But the thing is, RMZ, he has plenty of the sparking left to go. There it is, presses buttons. Yeah, I don't think Shadow pressed a button to challenge, but was not ready for it to connect.
Oh, he got it
That's
again!
not a sign of confidence.
It's like the second he saw the reflect, he just understood. Is that level 3? Surely this has to be death.
Is that enough?
The combo wasn't very long.
I mean, it's going to be just enough or close.
Oh, it has to be, surely. Oh, and he gets the damage right at the last minute. And RMZ's going to be moving on with that solo hit comeback right there, 2v1. The strength of sparking, man. Popping sparking early, you can understand why it gets used. But if RMZ saves it for the last minute, when he knows that's going to give his final character that real sort of trump card that he needs, that's going to work as well.
I mean, it's impressive because it really is. When you have sparking and it's like, you know, it's a comeback situation, there is the ultimate choice of, you know, when do I use it? Because sparking, if used too early, kind of starts the comeback but makes it harder to finish it. Whereas sparking used late almost, I don't want to say guarantees the comeback, but it's like, right, I now have a lot more of a realistic chance to make it. Especially with a character like Hit that, you know, historically doesn't have the most ways to open you up now. I know early on we did see Hit get a lot of, you know, Dragon Rushes and, you know, when people weren't quite as familiar with the matchup because the game had just come out, he was getting a lot of openings that he now doesn't get because people know where to block. But that being said, you still need to be able to really read that next level. And I think having sparking in those comeback situations really helps that.
Yeah, it's just a matter of which character you're playing, I think. But we can see Zaroch stepping up again, so we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that blue Vegeta. You know, you don't. Speaking of characters you don't see, blue Vegeta is like one of the main characters you never see selected. But yeah, so we can see average Funk Boy as the opponent. That's an interesting name. That's an interesting name. Right
that is a name and a half.
There's actually been quite a few interesting names today.
Indeed.
If you've been watching pool play.
And there's scope for a lot more, as I can see, as I believe we're going into our next kind of rounds of pools after these next handful of games, I think. So we can see Goichi's here, Dogura's here, Ikesi's sat down.
People are playing massive casuals right now. I mean, I guarantee the match that Sonic Fox is playing right now is not tournament.
So Michi, I'm looking at this like this little, you know, handful of setups just to the right that you guys can't see.
I promise it's just over there.
Dogura's playing Sonic Fox, Goichi's playing someone I can't see through the monitor, Ikesi's sat down, and they're all here, like, playing at the same area in the UK. Shoutouts to the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour. Welcome. This is VSFighting 2018, the UK stop on the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour, where our players this weekend are trying to claim the #2 Dragon Ball. That's what they're going for. Of course, Kazunoko was the first winner in the World Tour for CEO with that impressive Yamcha team, as always.
That was a great tournament for him.
Getting himself the 1-star Dragon Ball there. Of course, it's the 2-star, 2-star Dragon Ball we're looking for this weekend, and plenty of top-level players who could potentially walk away with it. Now, I've got to say, it's a shame that Kazunoko's not here, because that amazing rule...
I was sad about that as well.
That amazing kind of like unlockable requirement that is in the rules for the Dragon Ball World Tour. Where
for people that are watching that didn't know that rule, just enlighten us.
There is a rule in Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour where if one player traveled to every Saga event and won every event and ended up with all 7 Dragon Balls, they would be seeded directly to Grand Finals at the Dragon Ball World Tour Finals.
One-way ticket to Grand Finals was your reward for being the most dominant player of the tournament.
So Kazunoko won CEO and is now not here. So that amazing rule cannot be enforced. But, you know, amazing that it existed in the first place.
It was a good idea. It was a very, very good idea. But yeah, so we can see Zaroch again. I will be honest, of all the European players, I think Zaroch is really one of the players that I think I'm keeping my eyes on. I think that he's been recently doing very well across Europe. You know, he did recently just perform at Viability, which is obviously a tournament in Austria, and he was able to take first place there. Was able to defeat White Black in the grand finals.
In dominant fashion.
Defeated Foxy Grandpa as well, and Foxy Grandpa, of course, is no joke in Europe either. But we're wondering it's going to be enough to get top 8 in this tournament. That's the thing, because being really dominant in Europe, you know, we can't underestimate European players. But you would definitely say that, you know, North America have had more of a consistent ground to be strong, you know, and it's the same for Asia as well. So this is such an amazing opportunity for our European players to prove to everyone that they have what it takes to sit among the best in the world.
And it's going to be average Funk Boy. He's going to be his opponent. I believe it's Super Minor Battle Farm? I've seen that tag's been around in the UK for years.
Maybe. I'm going to be honest, I don't know. I have no idea. Oh, that intro. I can't wait to hear that later.
I will say...
It's a bit too early in the day for people to do it now.
Oh yeah, of course. It's playing Paul Ginty doing the cell screen. We'll see it in top 8, I'm sure. And there's the instant cross-up. Zaroch not messing around. Oh, there's the extension.
Yeah, there's that pickup from that Vegeta Blue assist. Zaroch already putting in that work. Pressure for days, empty jump low, the mix.
Now, the thing is, going into empty jump lows this early on in the set, I think really sends a message that he's not afraid to pull out all the stops from the get-go. He's not going to be holding anything behind, you know, not establishing the threat of those double overheads. Empty jump low, right away, no messing around. And that's already Trunks gone for average Trunk Boy.
I mean, if I'm Cell and I've got Gotenks, I'm going to do it. And now you know. Empty jump low, blocks it twice in a row right there, really sort of calling that a bluff. Could have been either way.
I know I said it before, but I absolutely adore the synergy that Zaroch has between Vegeta Blue and Gotenks. Honestly, the Gotenks assist just gives Blue Vegeta so many mix-up options.
And combo opportunities, because we just saw the pickup connect right there. Oh, there's the overhead. Finally goes for the on-your-head option. And there's the knockdown again.
He has 4 bars. Does he spend them all? He could do level 1, level 3, 3 level 1s.
All right, we'll soon see.
Is that enough? Yeah, level 1, level 1. I think the energy field is probably enough. Yeah.
Yep.
There's always that room for doubt, because I know the Gotenks ghosts don't do the most damage, but if you've got a way to keep them in place, absolutely. Zaroch. Oh, and there it is, the rolling attack.
I mean, Zaroch's gunning for that perfect. You rarely see perfect right now. Oh, can't block! And Funk Boy currently seems like he's frozen up a little bit.
I think that's the first time I've seen Zaroch connect.
No.
Oh no! He's got sparking! Is this touch of death?
Uh-oh.
Oh, he dropped it!
That would have been so good. Oh, no perfect for you either!
And that's what happens. You go for a touch of death, you lose your perfect.
Imagine trying to look like a huge cool guy with that TOD, and then you drop it, and then get no perfect either because the level 3. Oh, wait, hang on a minute. No, it's a level 3, right? So regen life. If you just let him live, get your health back a little bit. It might still count.
Nah, he's not messing around. No reason for it. Yeah, I mean, seeing the 3 green bars would be nice, but I think the win is much more of a valuable thing at this point.
I mean, just for the record, I definitely agree with you. 100%. Just FYI.
But I mean, what a game. Zaroch looking super strong again. But to be honest, it is a shame that he dropped the touch of death, because that's one of the situations that you are the least pressured to hit it. So I feel like if you drop the touch of death there, you know, and I say touch of death, he had about 90% health then, so it wasn't quite.
It was going to kill,
but it was definitely going to. It was definitely going to be a one-hit combo from the point of health he had. To drop that kind of combo here, when you are that dominant in the lead, it is a bit of a shame, because I would like to see him kind of be able to hit that now when the pressure isn't on. Because if we come to the point later in the day that, of course, you need to hit that kind of damage, and there's more stress, there's more pressure, I'd like to think he can still do it.
Wonderful reaction there on the Dragon Rush, even on hit, you know, just prepared for the grab situation at all moments. And Zaroch just really putting on a bit of a clinic here. Average Funk Boy's had such a hard time even being able to play the game.
Well, the big thing is his air-to-air. Zaroch's air-to-air all day has been absolutely incredible. And this is looking like it's the same. Here's a setup, instant cross-up, and he is ready again.
And that should be it. Oh, no confirm again. That character's going to live just a little bit. Trunks, I think, counting his lucky stars, that he was able to survive for that long, but a swift pickup from Zaroch's going to see to it for another time, and it's just not looking good for average Funk Boy, in big trouble.
Well, the thing is, he's got Cell, he's got Vegeta, he's got Sparking, he's got 5 bars. He has the resources to even things out. It's just Zaroch, right? This is that brick wall that's just a struggle to get round right now.
There's pressure into overhead mix-ups for days. It feels like of every assist, they work so perfectly with Cell, with Vegeta Blue. You know, Gotenks pretty much exists as an assist machine. You know, it's only ever going to be Vegeta out at one time. I don't even know what happened there.
No, the energy field was done too late, so he actually fell out of it. But the thing is, average Funk Boy had... so Zaroch had already gone into the final flash, and average Funk Boy had already pressed a button, I think, to try and whip punish the energy field. So he ended up walking straight into it.
There's the combo. Again, it really just serves that purpose where you almost never see Gotenks out when Zaroch is playing. He uses it entirely for the assist that complements Cell, and it complements Vegeta really well on block and hit.
I mean, surely he does level 3 here, right? You've got 7 bars, you have loads of sparking left, you have loads of opportunity to pull that ball back, but he drops the final flash!
Uh-oh.
Average Front Boy, you can't afford to drop that kind of combo here, not when you have such a huge amount of work to do.
And Cell combos take so long, that sparking just going to disappear. No opportunity to spend it. Let's go. Tank's low, comes out for another time, and he's going to build lots of resources.
I mean, you see that sparking regeneration, it's doing everything it can to keep him alive, but he's got it in himself, and there we go. The regeneration has stopped. Level 1, probably level 3, most likely going to be the end. for the winner's bracket run of Average Funk Boy, as Zaroch is going to be moving through comfortably. A couple of execution errors here and there, but generally speaking, fundamentally in that neutral, strong play.
Still looking good. Zaroch is still looking good, which is kind of what we expected to see from him. A couple of drops here and there, but I think they weren't costly drops, you know. Whenever he had to land that initial damage, he was looking strong for it, and we'll see how he does throughout the course of the day, basically.
No, 100%.
I'm interested to see if Zaroch can crack top 8. I'm really, really interested to see if that's possible.
I think he has a really good chance to, given how we've seen him play. Obviously, he has a really, you know, quite a unique team, and he just plays. He plays the neutral really well, and in a bit of a different style than you normally see, right? I feel like a big part of him is kind of that air superiority. He always wins the air-to-airs. We've seen those whiff punishes and the super dashes, you know, when they try to hit in the air.
They were sick. They were sick. But, it's basically using the active frames of the light, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's just he sees you super dash at him, so he jabs you, or he hits you with a
when you see it for the first time, it looked very, very specific and deliberate. But sometimes it's like, well, did he mean to press something else, or did he just kind of work out? And then the second you saw it, the second you saw it the second time in a row, it's like, okay, 100%. My mind has been made up.
It's because it's something that you just don't see people doing, generally speaking, right? Because it's so difficult and so outside the box. So when you see it, it's like, oh, I guess that was pretty lucky. But then he does it over and over and over again. It's like, oh, hang on a minute, he is actually doing it deliberately.
Forget I said anything.
Moving on, we have Kindevu returning to the fray against NBA Legend. I think Legend is, I don't want to say he's a newcomer to the FGC, but he definitely doesn't have a...
That's our mate, Tom.
Yeah, of course, he does. But he doesn't have a huge amount of major experience. But I know he's just generally a big fan of fighting games. You know, he's always coming to the UK events. We've seen him around at Hype Spotting, seen him around at VSFighting many times. And he's always playing different games. He's always entering so many different things. And of course, you know, Dragon Ball is here on the agenda for him today.
Representing Manchester Battle Arena as well, which really is the go-to fighting game community of Manchester. Not too far away from here, in all honesty. You know, the kind of the middle of the UK, the Midlands area, is not particularly far spread out. So a lot of tournaments that take place in Birmingham and Leicester, Manchester, you get a lot of the same players that kind of travel to each tournament, just really hungry to compete. Definitely, though, Legend has his work cut out for him against Kindevu. I think this could even be the very first time Legend has fought against an Asian player in anything.
I actually think that this will be Legend's first time playing a player of this caliber from Asia. You know, a lot of the games that Legend plays don't typically have too much presence in that part of the world, but of course, Dragon Ball FighterZ, hugely popular in Japan.
Yeah, could not be more opposite from the truth in that regard. But here we go.
But we saw Kindevu was super clean early on, and was able to make it work for himself. I have no doubt he's still going to be riding it through here.
Now, almost immediately, you definitely think, I think
I heard a single person in the crowd do that.
Hey, someone tried, and I give you the
Shout outs
respect.
to the one person in the crowd that did that. Next time I expect more to join in.
I expect at least 2.
Yeah, that's like that 100% improvement.
Now, Vegeta up first actually is quite interesting. And this is, I mean, look, it's the kind of team I think we expect to see Vegeta, and then you've got Goku and Vegeta.
This team has a lot of Goku and Vegeta in it.
Oh yeah, well, the second the character was announced, you know, this was on Twitter day 1. I can't wait to have this exact team in particular.
Oh wow, catch him with a super dash. Oh, we dropped the combo, unfortunately.
Right, now we see how he has to block, gets opened up by the low. That's unfortunate because, as I actually said earlier, right, when Cell lands those moves and those normals that can open you up, it tends to be mediums, and mediums don't scale nearly as much as the rest.
What combo did we just see? What did that even start off?
A very good one.
In no possibility did I expect that much damage from that opening, but Kindevu showing the optimization. Absolute optimization. And that's already going to be Vegito out of the picture.
And just clipped by the 2M. Watch your little toes. Running right into that one again. A very similar sort of fashion. You're going to get that knockdown. Kindevu's going to get a great situation off this. What's the situation? Empty jump low, and he's dead. The 2-touch.
I mean, yeah, he's going to have 4 bars. Will he need them, though, I wonder?
Well,
3 level 3s might be enough, or level 1s might be enough.
He has time to decide. There it is. Keep selling as well, because we want to make sure we have that neutral on deck.
Now, the thing is, Kindevu's got a bar, and I believe this team can touch of death off of this if he gets right opening. Or does he get the opportunity to? Oh, he tried! He just ran him from full screen into perfect attack. There was one thing he was fishing for there.
And now, if you're Legend, that means you've got to worry, because you know Kindevu is fishing for it. All right, they're going to get knocked down. Actually, he's just go for a raw level 3.
Yep, definitely. I mean, he only had 3 bars, and if there's one character on this team that you want a level 3 for, it's going to be Bar.
And if you open him up, you can confirm into Sparking and build the necessary bar to finish it. Kindevu has already shown us that he's got the really, really clutch execution, confirming single hits into Sparking Blast. Now he's going to have to basically wait out, though. Level 3 takes about 24 seconds. That's a long time. No, 21 seconds, sorry.
regardless, it's a long time to have that kind of bonus.
Yes.
5 bars, the blocking from Kindevu. Oh, and the second he gets the opportunity, he comes out swinging. This is a chance. Obviously, Legend's health regeneration going to do a lot of this. Kindevu, he has 2 bars. Is he going to spend any of them? Wake up level 3. I think Kindevu's recovered in time.
Definitely looked like an intentional safe jump of some sort to stay safe. And now we confirm into sparking because we know that the sparking for Legend's going to run out. We dropped the combo, but
he went for the loop, missed it. But at this point, I'm not sure how much of a problem it's going to be. The blocking coming through from Legend, but just look at this, the pressure. Legend, he's showing the patience. He's blocking everything. Gets the reflect, finds the A, or the standing key blast.
there it is.
Oh, he's got some damage.
I mean, that's nowhere near enough.
It's something. I'll give him that.
Yes.
Oh. Now the thing is, Legend had he had a good sequence at the end of there where he was blocking really well and was obviously defending himself for an extended period of time. If he can play that kind of calm on the defense from the start, I think he'll have a much better time. The problem is he was getting overwhelmed quite early on, and just like that there, we've talked about the Bardock assist, how strong it can be. Look no further than that kind of thing. When you whiff a jumping attack with Cell, and then Bardock comes swinging out, and there's another overhead. Legend, the overwhelmingness.
It's a bad situation to get caught in when you have sort of like Cell up front, you have some amazing assists, just kind of just keep you locked down forever. This isn't going to kill, but it's going to give that guaranteed hard knockdown. Every level 3 in the game has that hard knockdown situation. And just the raw grab. And that's the first time Kindevu's gone for that.
That was good. Because the thing is, like, one thing, Legend has, he's been opened up by a lot of empty jump lows. He's blocked a lot of the overheads. So chances are Legend is going to be just stand blocking on most wake-ups. In anticipation of those instant overheads. The Dragon Rush, very smart move. He's going to get it for Kindevu.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a nice opportunity. But no, the thing with Vanish has done a tad too late, perhaps.
That would have been a nice pickup, actually. After the airborne banner. Alright, there's the tag.
Oh,
actually, a little bit slow
late
on the punish. He had the read, but just not the execution. Alright, there's the block on the overhead. Has a lot more to block. Pushed together at a safe distance. That's going to give Legend a little bit of real estate, but not for long.
But that's the same thing we saw Sonic Fox do. We saw the down tech into buttons. When you see your opponent drop a combo, chances are they're a little bit flustered because they're not going to be expecting to drop it. So if you can retaliate with a down tech out of the air into a button, the chance it's going to catch, and Kindevu getting this opportunity again. He has Legend cornered.
Goes for an interesting mix-up right there. Yeah, backdash just in case, and just clipped for another time. Legend has just been unable to really get anything going this entire series. I think it just goes to show, how Kindevu has his head wrapped around the team. Such an amazing team of characters.
Right. Oh wow, there, opportunity here. He can't get anything off of it. He could have gone for a vanish at least.
Okay. Just got another combo. Blue combo staying at rock though. Giving him a little bit of space. Overhead comes through. Regular vanish actually. Doesn't go for the empty vanish. That could have been a big chunk of damage.
Oh, and ran straight in with the reversal. I think Legend, he's just not quite ready to react accordingly. And there's a big opportunity now for Kindevu. Legend, a lot of this sparking blast is going to be running out. Be very surprised if he has much of it left at this point. That's been level 3 for Kindevu. Doesn't want to spend anything.
I think when you spend your sparking and it's used to not actually make a comeback, it's used to just not die, and then it runs out before you've taken out a single character, it does so much for your morale as a player, because you just understand immediately how much work you have to do to win the game.
This is a good enough for Legend. Tries to super dash this Kindevu. He gets an opportunity now. This could be something.
We see a knockdown. Let's take the damage. I would like to have seen a hard knockdown from that one.
The thing is, the amount of bar he spent on that, I'm pretty sure he spent 3 bars on that.
Oh!
Okay, he's able to get the... Okay, there we go. Gets a character off Kindevu. He spent 3 bars on the combo, but actually would have liked to have seen him go for the level 3 instead in the final flash just to get a better situation. But he's able to get it, but there's the whiff punish with Bardock. And there we go, Kindevu going to be moving on comfortably. I think a stronger second game for Legend, but ultimately not enough, unfortunately. And he's going to be dropping down to the loser's bracket, where he will continue his journey in the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour versus Fighting 2018 with the rest of us. Of course, welcome to the stream for those of you that may have just tuned in. This is Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour versus Fighting Birmingham. We are in smack bang in the middle of the UK, looking to see who's going to get that 2-star Dragon Ball this week.
On that note, though, we're going to be taking a quick transition over. We're going to go for a very short break and set up our next round of pools. So thank you for joining us. See you in a few minutes, and the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour will be back after this.